Welcome, 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 everyone, to another adventure into reality. We seem to be having a little bit of an issue here, but come on, everyone, get on in and allow yourself to be a part of the infamous adventures into reality. All right. How many people? We got a bunch of people in here already. Let me check what's going on here. Oh, everyone's coming into the chat room. All nice. Hello, everyone. Hello, Sean. Hello, Amir. Hello, Rosie, Rosa. Hello, Membrana. And all the people that are coming and joining. Right now, we've got to wait for letting people in because Zoom has this new feature where we must individually let everyone into the room. It doesn't just allow open rub-in. Robert, you're waving, but you're muted.
I'm always muted.
Yes. Lord of the mute button. All right, we still got a tremendous amount of people coming in. So tell me, everyone, into the chat room, how you all doing today? What's going on in your reality? Chilling, buff. Geez, we've got a tremendous amount of people coming into the show today. Grocery shopping. And what are you grocery shopping for? Groceries. Are you all organic groceries? Yes, everyone. All right, go ahead and spin up the wheel of callers, Robin. We got a whole bunch of people that already got their hands raised.
Yeah, I see that. How about Nathaniel St. Pierre?
Nathaniel, are you there?
Hold on, there's so many people coming in. They're jumping around. Okay, Nathaniel, here we go. Hello. Okay, hey. There you go.
Nathaniel, how you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you for picking me.
Great. Where are you calling? Where are you calling from today?
I'm in Hartford, Connecticut. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I'm working. I'm delivering mail, and I'm hustling.
Great. So, what did you want to talk about today?
I have a question about marijuana. So I know it's a beneficial, plant, and it has many uses. But I've heard you talk before about if you're choosing marijuana as a lifestyle and like what effects that might have. And I don't know. I keep wondering if I should stop doing it. I've been kind of smoking heavily for like 10 years.
And what is heavily?
Well, I mean, heavily would be like in the morning and then in the afternoon and then in the evening as well.
So let's cut it down to grams per day or grams per week. You smoking an eighth a week, a quarter a week?
Yeah, at least an eighth a week.
Okay, so on your highest, what were you doing?
Probably like a quarter a week.
Okay, and how long did that last for?
I don't know, a couple months. It was, I wasn't working as much back then. I had a lot of free time and all this stuff.
Okay, so you're smoking about 14 grams to 16 grams per month. A half an ounce is roughly 13 and a half grams.
Okay, that sounds somewhat accurate.
Now, that's a lot. You should be at no more than 9 grams a month, which means you actually have to skip a day smoking. And if you cut it down to 3 grams a month, you actually have to go 5 or 6 days in a month without smoking.
Okay. And
so for all those people that are asking the same question as you, is what's too much? Anything over 9 grams a month is too much. Okay. Now, if you're in extreme levels of pain and using it to subside pain, that is different. Then you're going to be using more volumes. If you're coming off of cancer, you're going to be using more volumes. But you're using it as a recreational value, right?
Yeah, and I just wonder, I guess, if I'm using it as some form of escapism.
At that level, yes. At that level, yes. Because you're actually getting dopamine releases off of when you're choosing to get high, because the choice to get high is a choice that gives you its own dopamine release. Okay?
Yeah, and I get that. And so now I just wonder if I should just like quit cold turkey. I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm lacking in self-control, though I guess I could try to, like you said, cut it down to a certain amount.
What's the longest you've gone without smoking in the last 10 years?
last 10 years, it would be about a couple months or so when I moved to a different area and I didn't have access to it.
Okay. And what did it do when you didn't have access to it?
I mean, definitely have more energy and feel just like less of a brain fog and more clear. And so I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to figure out if it's something I should just give up altogether.
Right now, the amount that you're smoking, your short-term memory is about 20% affected, and you've already lost half of your sense of smell and taste.
Oh, geez.
So if you want to get a more stronger sense of smell and taste, cut yourself down to 3 grams a month.
Okay.
You want to maintain no short-term memory. 3 grams a month essentially means maybe you get, a half gram joint, 6 joints for a month.
No, I think I can do that, and I appreciate your insight with that. And then just one other question that I had is, like in my relationship, it started off kind of rocky because I knew my girlfriend only for a couple months, and then she got pregnant, and we had the baby and all this stuff, and I'm glad that we did all that. It's just that at this point, I feel like a disconnect, and it's not that I don't love her, because I do, but now it's like there's just something I feel like that is keeping me like we didn't have the typical romance, love story, fall in love, whole type of thing, and now it just feels a little bit like forced in a way, and almost like we're together because we have this baby. And the other part is too that I find myself attracted to other women. I don't act on it or do anything like that, but I'm just wondering, like, is this just me being like lustful and wanting to avoid like committing myself to one person because she wants to get married and all this stuff. I just don't really know about committing myself to one person for the rest of my life, but I feel guilty because I think because we had the baby, she was expecting that. And I don't want to just go to cultural conformity and just do it because of a baby, but I'm just.
But the situation which you just expressed, there was no love, romance, that we are doing it just to have a baby. That's exactly why you don't want to be in the relationship.
Well, that I wouldn't be with her if it weren't for the baby.
And you didn't have a romance. You didn't have the standard other things. You don't really have a connection with her, and you're not really going to have a connection with her pre-baby. It's all going to be baby, post-baby relationship.
Okay.
That's the facts and truth. And you cannot distort those facts and truth. So I would not get married, but you're already there.
Well, I'm not planning on getting married. I guess maybe my question for you is just, how do you think I could talk to her about this without like destroying her hopes and dreams and her feelings?
It doesn't matter what you're going to do. All that is going to be destroyed anyways. This person has to come to realize maybe they love you more than you love them. And that's a truth. But you can't throw away your own life because of that. You can still be a good father. You can still do all the other things, but I can't be with this woman. Although as you were going to be leading a life where you're going to be with someone that's in a loveless relationships, how many shows have you listened and heard that?
No, I know. And
that's what that's what you're setting yourself up for.
Okay. My last question, and I know you got a lot of people in here. I have an opportunity to pursue a career in truck driving. My uncle owns his own truck, and I have experience in learning how to do it and getting my CDL and everything. I'm just wondering if you could. I have a lot of different skills. Used to be a massage therapist. I work at the post office right now, but I don't want to. And I'm just wondering, should I pursue this? I feel some synchronicities around it. I don't know why I'm doubting myself. If you could tune in. Is this going to be something I already know I can do it? I've done it with him. I'm going
to tell you right now, you becoming a truck driver with a wife you don't love is a disaster.
Well, no, I got to straighten that out first. I understand that. I'm just saying
it's going to be a disaster. Okay, it's
Okay.
going to be a disaster. Okay, an absolute 100% disaster for you. Okay, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties right now. I need to switch devices. So just hold on one second, Robert. I've got to log out and come in on another device.
Okie dokie, I'll play a little background music.
Shit. All right. Can you hear me now, Robert?
Loud and clear.
Okay. All right. So sorry, is my video coming through?
Yep, look good. Actually,
I
it's a
don't
lot
see
clearer.
I don't see myself on the screen on my phone. I just see your video playing. Okay, here we go. All right. You got to share my view, Robert. Oh, I hate this phone. Hold on a second. All right, a caller, are you still there?
Yes.
There we go. So I was going to explain why truck driving is an absolute bad idea. No matter what you think you know about truck driving, it is an extremely dirty industry, very dirty. And what you will discover is the amount of ghosts that are on the road is ridiculously high. And if you are sensitive at all, they will be all over you like flies and shit. Okay? Whatever you think there's big money in this modern economy isn't big money. The time for making money in truck driving was done 10 years ago. The competition between people coming to this country who are as many different backgrounds and descents as possible, who are shortchanging the entire industry. Okay? So don't do it. Find something else. If you've got a massage background, why aren't you doing that?
He's
Robert, is the
muted.
caller muted?
Yeah, he's muted. I muted him because of the background noise. But
Okay.
Daniel, if you can hear us, unmute.
Hey, sorry. I did it for many years. I did it for about 7 years full time, and it's hard. It was hard to find clientele, and I ended up working at places like Massage Envy and stuff just to get regular client base.
Massage Envy is a ripoff to the practitioner.
Oh, I know.
Okay, an absolute ripoff to the practitioner.
So you say
That's
try to start my own practice?
Yeah, absolutely. You'll be far better off fulfilling yourself.
All right. I mean, I did it. I've been doing it for a long time, so I could try and work on that.
What else do you do?
All right. I appreciate. Oh, a lot of stuff. I mean, I've worked at the post office. I've worked. I did a lot of driving jobs. I did the massage. I guess that's about it as far as credentialed work. I mean, I do a lot of different things. I've worked with carpentry, and I've helped electricians. You know.
Right, so you've done a lot of handyman trade stuff.
Yeah.
So just let yourself not get sucked into truck driving.
Even if it's local?
I think it's a gigantic disaster for you.
All right. that was the insight I wanted, because I'm pretty poised to do that, but I do have some hesitation. So even if it's local work, not over the road, don't do it.
And local work and evidence makes you lead to want to do over the road.
Okay.
So there's something about local truck driving that is just as haunted as over the road truck driving. So warehouses are these assemblage points for these really random wild spirit energies that attack to the trucks and trailers, and even empty trailers that haven't moved in a while. It's like they're like homeless camps inside them. So just don't do it. Just don't do it.
I appreciate that insight. I really do. I don't want to keep you from the other callers. Those were my main concerns.
All right. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you very much.
All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Okay, Dayami.
Dayami, are you there? Dayami. You are not there. Robert, all right, split up the next caller. Oh, you made it.
She came and then jumped off the edge.
She jumped right off the edge. Are you there?
Okay, Dayami, I'm going to send you a signal to unmute. Just press it once.
Okay.
Hello. How you doing?
Hi. I'm okay.
Where are you calling from?
Orlando, Florida.
All right, we got a lot of background noise in you. Are you like in some wind? You got to get out of the wind.
Okay. There you go. I just parked
Yeah.
my car. I had the AC on. Sorry.
Okay. So what did you want to talk about today?
I am concerned about my mom's health right now.
Okay.
And I wanted for you to tune in to her, and then right now her background, right now she's in the hospital receiving dialysis. Her 2 kidneys have failed. And my siblings want to know if one of us can be compatible for a kidney transplant coming up maybe next year. And I don't know if I am, because I'm diabetic.
You're not, because you're
I want-
diabetic. They won't take a kidney out of you if you're diabetic.
Oh, even if I try to help clean my body and get my sugar leveled, and they wouldn't.
So they look at risk factors when it comes for children who are eligible to give a parent an organ donor, an organ donation.
Okay.
And not all children, not all organs take. There could be something within the kidney itself and the malfunction from being diabetic that could reject the organ. So they're going to look at who's the more healthy person to choose to give the organ if there's a match there.
Okay.
Okay. But you should be cleaning your blood and anyways, and doing all the positive things for your body anyways, not just because mom is sick.
Correct. This is like another wake-up call for me to get more serious about my health.
How long has your mom been on dialysis for?
She just started on Tuesday, and she kept this from the family since a couple months ago, that her kidneys were stage 5, like they failed, until we really checked up on her. And my stepdad kept that information from us because he was told by my mom.
This has been going on a really long time. And when you say stage 5, what do you mean by stage 5?
They say stage 5 is
full renal failure?
Yes, both of them.
All right, so she may not be eligible for a kidney.
Okay.
So that's something. No, she may be too sick to even accept a kidney.
Oh my God.
That's why they're going to try extended dialysis to see if they can bring some of her numbers down. Well, she needs to have it anyways because the kidneys are already shut down and not doing what they need to do.
Correct. Okay. Oh my God. Wow.
What else does she have?
Her high blood pressure that was, the doctors and the whole family, we were in shock that her blood pressure was 260.
What? Holy shit.
I mean, the doctor's looking at her and saying, "Are you okay? Or you're like, you're not even supposed to be here right now." She's like, "I'm fine." Like she has this very strong character. Like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" And I'm like, my brother's like, "Mom, 260."
Yeah,
You,
that's like heart exploding level, and she just lives like that.
she's since last week. We know they took her blood pressure, and then on Tuesday they took her blood pressure was 260. The doctor's like, "Oh no, this is like they're like they of course they went she went to ICU, and then she's like, "What are you guys doing? I'm fine. I don't feel nothing." She's just a stubborn woman, but
There's
260
a
was
lot.
her
There's
blood
a
pressure.
lot. There's a lot more going on with her, and you've got to talk to the new partner and say, "I want the truth."
Okay.
Okay, you're not
Okay.
being there. There's some other sickness going on. Maybe she's only had it diagnosed once or twice and hasn't looked at it in many years, or
Mm-hmm.
260 heart rate is like it's just unheard of. Unheard of, as you just well know.
That's why we're like the doctors are in shock. Like, are you? She's like, "I'm fine," and they were saying you probably had this for a couple weeks. You've been like this, and and then your body became normal to it or adapted to this high blood pressure like this. So she just never took her medicine. This was because of her not taking her medication that she was supposed to. This could have been preventative, but she chose to do all natural and then not really do natural
Yeah,
and
they self-diagnose and they don't do the all natural the right way because they've self-diagnosed wrong, and then
per-
change the self-diagnosing. So for everyone out there that's a self-diagnostician, stop doing it. 99% of you get it 100% wrong.
okay. Wow. So
You need to be prepared that she won't last through this.
really?
It's not
And
over. If that
no,
lady's not singing just yet, but she's warming up, some choices got to be made for her. Positive
okay.
choices. The doctors can save her,
Okay.
but if she hasn't been taking her medicine, it would mean that more than likely she's not going to be on the donor list. That
Okay.
means you would have to one of the family members would have to direct give.
Direct and that's my brother and my sister wants to, and there's 4 people in my family that wants to give their kidney to her.
Okay. Well, she probably needs 2 kidneys.
She will need 2, right?
Yeah.
Because they're
But
both
they only do one surgery at a time. And the second kidney would only be in case she rejects the first one.
oh my god. This is it's like I feel like I'm reliving with my father. He was another case, but well,
Similar situations, didn't go to the doctor and self-medicated and self-diagnosed.
yeah, he would inject himself with insulin whenever he thought he felt the
Yeah.
sugar was high, and he ended up getting pancreatic cancer, and he couldn't beat it.
There you go. Once again,
Yeah,
stop self-diagnosing, everyone.
yeah. Oh my
But
gosh.
what's the message for you here today?
Well, I actually had a reading with you 2 months ago, and you were saying that you need to be on your medication, and I've been on my
Bingo.
blood pressure, and
Bingo.
you're right because my blood pressure has been high, and I've been on my medication, and you ring to, it's like this is like okay, I have to be on my medication, and I got all my blood work, and I know where I'm at, and I know where I can be at. So
Good.
this is scary to not be just like you said. Self-diagnosing is one thing to be intuitive, but you have to know you need to have all that information and be disciplined and
Mm-hmm.
committed to health to live this life, right?
Exactly. Exactly. The point is to live, not fake living it.
Not fake living it. No.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, with that, with my mom, thank you for that information. I have one more question.
Sure.
I was been reading your contract revocation, especially the carrot and stick revocation.
Mm-hmm.
Last week I read it early in the morning, and I fell asleep on the couch. Right then I had this horrible nightmare, like an entity or something was holding me, but then I actually felt like someone was tapping at my heart, my chest, and I woke up. What was that?
That's the work paying off.
Okay. It was like
That is
someone
literally the
on
work
my
beginning
chest.
to pay off.
Okay.
You had enough strength and potential within you from the work that you had done to stop an
Okay.
attack against you.
Okay. That was just very surreal. I was like, okay, this is interesting. Yeah, I want to thank you for your contract revocations. They're
You're
amazing.
welcome.
They're magical. They're
That's what
magical.
that's what they're meant for.
Magical. Everything is giving me strength. And yesterday, your interview with, I forgot the lady, it was just wonderful as well. You got to work, just focus on you, because I really got caught up in that game of the whole movie, the season 4, like you said. And
Yeah, they're skipping season 3 totally and going right to season 4.
yeah, the world is a stage. Shakespeare says it, he quoted that. It is a
That's
stage.
right.
And I was almost so sucked in, and I feel better. I feel more alleviated, and I can focus on what I need to focus on. And I thank you, Andrew, for everything you do.
You're welcome, and keep on chugging. And whatever harsh times are coming for you,
Okay.
prepare with prayer.
Okay.
Okay,
Definitely.
and you repeat those words: prepare with prayer, because
Okay.
that'll help you get through the hard times.
I thank you so much.
Okay, keep doing the good work. Okay, no more self-diagnosing. You've got your
No.
blood pressure medication taken care of. Now go out
Yeah.
and do something fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, you got a permission slip to go do something fun.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Okay, you got a full-on Galactic historian permission slip. There you go.
Thank you. Awesome.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot for calling in.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who's next.
Okay, Natalia, getting a signal to unmute.
Natalia, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello.
Hi, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from San Mateo, California.
San Mateo, California. Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk
Thank
about
you. I'm so
tonight?
excited. Okay. Well, I guess my question's like 3 parts. But the first
Ooh, I
thing
get
I'll
a
ask
three-part question. Ooh.
you get those all the time. So the first thing I want to ask is there something within me that sabotages business endeavors?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me what that is?
What are the business endeavors that get sabotaged?
Okay, so the first one, this was about 6 years ago. I love cooking, and a friend of mine told me that I would make a great teacher. And I love teaching, so I thought, oh, that's great. I got really ramped up. I even, I had a logo, a website. I had everything ready to go. And just when it was about time for me to really like put myself out there, I stopped. I got pregnant and stopped. So that was the first thing. The second one was like a Reiki coaching business.
So why, I got a question. Why couldn't you continue the stuff after pregnancy?
Well, that's a great question. I don't know. I just felt really scared. I was alone. I was separated from my husband at the time, and I just felt
And
like
those
I
are the self-defeating habit patterns that stop that.
So it's just me?
Yeah. The only thing that stopped you from succeeding after pregnancy was you not having someone to support you and you not supporting yourself. Because what is a mother's job right after giving birth? Changing diapers, cooking food, doing laundry.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
You could have easily mixed and made plenty of recipes for new mothers, all this other stuff. Creativity could have flown, but you were afraid.
Okay.
Okay, and then the second one, this Reiki coaching business?
Yes. And again, I formed an LLC. I had the website. I was even putting myself out there online, which I was afraid to do because of the job that I had at the time.
What was the job?
I was working in banking. I was in a community bank for 17 years, and then they got bought out, and I was laid off.
Okay. So tell me about the job. Tell me about the business. Sorry.
The business? Which business?
The coaching business. Yeah, the Reiki coaching.
Yeah, so I mean, it was like the same thing again. I was ready to go, and then once again, I got pregnant. I had just gotten married, and I just never really proceeded again. At the time, I had a friend who told me that if I was pregnant, I shouldn't be doing Reiki on others. So I just used that as an excuse.
Okay, I know plenty of people that do Reiki while they're pregnant, and it makes it a lot more effective. So whoever told you that just disempowered you, and you accepted a disempowering statement once again.
Okay, so now going along the Reiki lines, is it okay to do Reiki from my bedroom if I have
No.
nowhere else in the house to do it
No,
from?
no, no,
Okay.
no.
Okay. Okay, so as far as like my purpose, do you think that Reiki is the way that I should go?
Why have you just studied Reiki? Why haven't you continued your journey and studied other things?
I did Akashic record reading for a little bit, but I was just never confident enough. I felt like I wasn't putting in the work. I've just recently taken up meditation again and started down that path. So I'm starting to feel a little more confident.
What makes you more confident with Reiki?
I feel like I have to do the work myself. I'd feel like a fraud if I was, slacking off and drinking and not meditating, and I just don't feel as powerful, I guess, when I'm not doing the work.
So why can't you feel powerful when you're not doing the work?
Is it just in my head? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm asking you a question. Why can't you feel powerful when you're not doing the work?
I don't know.
Because you don't think you're worthy enough unless you're doing the work. That is a malfunction in the basic idea of the work. The work is not the entire work of your life. There's plenty of things you do when you're not doing Reiki and you're holding your power still.
Right.
Yeah. You have to take a more holistic approach to your journey here. You cannot be single practice Mary and think you can do everything, because you won't. Single practice isn't enough. Meditation isn't enough. Reiki alone isn't enough. The practice alone isn't enough. That's why we continuously learn over and over and over again. Now, your initial question to me is, what are the self-defeating habit patterns? Fear of doing things on your own and having to hold your own power. But there's more to it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There's a lot more to it.
Can you tell me?
17 years in banking, you don't know how to be a Reiki practitioner who's going to make the same amount of income as a bank practitioner. It's fair to say that your
What
bank
if income wasn't the issue?
I'm saying it is an issue, even if you think it isn't. It's your internal valuation system. Okay. So is it fair to say that you made at least $3,000 a month in banking?
I made more than that.
Okay, $10,000 a month?
A little bit less, but yeah, I mean, in the Bay Area,
you made a significant. Do you know how many clients you'd have to do to equivalent to that?
No.
Okay. Basically, you'd be doing about 70 clients to 80 clients a month.
Okay.
You have no idea what 70 clients a month in Reiki is. You have no frame of reference for it.
No.
But it is more energy than you currently have. Okay.
Okay.
Now, is money not enough? Now let's get to the next thing. Is money not an issue for you right now?
Not right now. No, I mean, I haven't been working for 2 years, so my husband's been the sole provider.
Okay. Are you ready to make a few $100 extra a month in the beginning?
Yes, definitely. It would be nice. At times I feel like I don't have the time, but I think I can make it work.
Then go and learn something additional from Reiki, and 2 or 3 times every year, learn 2 or 3 more skills each year. Okay. Reiki will not be enough to maintain volumes of clients. Reiki is its own thing. It's going to bring whoever it's meant. The more modalities you have under your belt, and the more it looks like an actual business, the more you'll get repeat clients.
Okay. Do you have any suggestions?
Cranial sacral therapy, myofascial release, Bowen method, quantum healing, quantum touch, past life regression, the Dolores Cannon
yes,
version of it.
The HQQ. whatever.
HQQT. You
Okay.
could do bio feedback, and the list keeps going and going and going and going.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
That
All
will
right, so it's
give
nothing
you
like ancestral or past life or anything like that.
it's just you and
It's
pregnancies.
just
Are you going to get pregnant
well, I
again?
don't plan on having any more, so
Well, then
No.
now's the right
No,
time
no,
to
no,
start
I'm
a
done.
business,
I'm
isn't it? Then now's the right time to start a
Okay.
business.
All right.
Okay? As it is the pregnancy that stopped it the first 2 times, plus all the insecurities that you had.
Right.
Okay?
Is there
Go get
anything
your
I can do for that besides just for the insecurities?
as a joke, get your tubes tied.
Ah, haha, yes.
As a joke, get your tubes tied. Unfortunately, you do have to face those insecurities directly as part of your daily practice, daily work. Why don't I value myself? Why do I always think these negative thoughts? Why do I allow this energy into my structure? And begin to break it down and journal about it.
So is that why I've been kind of seeking for saviors and people to take care of me?
Yep, for them to do it for you.
Okay. Okay. Well, that sounds good.
Okay. Let me ask you a big question though.
Okay.
Why did you want to become a healer?
I went through a terrible, terrible relationship that, I mean, I just like hit rock bottom in that relationship. We were both drinking way too much. And I met a healer one night. It was a friend of my mother's, and she asked, where my baby's father was. And I'm a very open person. So I told her that we were separated, and I told her I wasn't angry anymore. Or I'm sorry, that I understood what was going on. I was seeing a therapist, and that helped a lot, but I was still very angry and hurt, and I just couldn't let go of that. So she offered to do a Reiki session, and she took out tuning forks. And the minute that she put the tuning fork on my heart, I felt this rush of energy, something that I'd never felt before. And after that, I was hooked. And at first I didn't think I could do it. And I started seeing another Reiki person, and she told me, she said, you're a natural healer. You can do this. So I started believing in myself, and that's when I learned Reiki, and I love helping people. I think more than anything, that's what I want. I want to be able to give people the gift that I was given.
Beautiful answer. So what's the real answer now?
Thank you.
Now I'm going to ask you, what's the real answer? That's your propaganda answer. What's the real answer? We all have an inner Fox News that creates.
I want to be able to help people. Inner Fox News.
Everyone's got an inner Fox News
I want to
that we all
help
believe
people
in.
heal.
Okay, great. Now let's get to the real answer.
I want to help people.
Let's get to the real answer. Now we're talking. Now we've got Neil Cavuto on the screen here, okay, from Fox News, defending the position. Stop defending the position and and give it the real answer.
Is it about me?
Come on, you just answer the about me question then.
I don't know. It would make me feel good to help people. Make me feel valued.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Add more words to that.
It would make me feel appreciated.
Valued and appreciated. Because your whole life you have felt unvalued, unappreciated. The metaphorical redheaded stepchild. Are we at a level of truth now?
Yes.
Okay, are you crying about it?
Yes, I am.
Accept that then. And stop using Fox News. I'm doing it because I want to feel valued and appreciated. And that's okay to do it. Okay? It's okay. It's okay to becoming a healer to do that. There's truth to that. It makes me feel good and connected. I get so much more for doing it for others, and I get a treatment back. I know I can be good at this.
Okay.
Then accept that as the truth and delve deeper into Reiki. Delve deeper into being a healer and fulfill that valuation of you being the healer by getting some other skills under your belt and showing the world you are that worthy. Okay. I had to grill you a little bit to get to that truth because you've been listening to your own Fox News for a while. You got to start practicing turning off Fox News.
It just saying those things, it just makes me feel so needy.
But that's the
that's
ego. That's the
hard part of
ego,
it.
right? Okay, that's the
Mhm.
ego.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, now we're at some truth. I would highly advise you to chronicle, journal, and write about what we talked about, getting past the inner propaganda and getting to the authentic truth of why you decided to do it.
Okay.
Okay.
I
And
can do
again,
that.
it's not a bad thing that you did it.
That I chose to be a healer.
It's not a bad thing why you chose to be a healer. But there's a part of you that's still judging you why you went to be a healer. There's a lot of internal judgments you have on yourself. And you got to begin breaking down these judgments.
Okay.
And stop being extremely judgmental to yourself.
Okay.
Okay. How old are your children?
Okay. I know that this all stemmed from, I have a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Okay. You're still a mom. Okay.
Yes, I'm definitely a mom.
Until
Yes, and I have my 5-year-old's homeschooled.
till the 1-year-old's 5-year-old, are you really going to be
Mhm.
able to put time, effort, and energy into building a business and not feel like you're taking away from your
Not the way I should.
okay? And this is
Not
the
the
other
way I
reason.
should know. And I guess that was the third part of my question. Is now a good time? I mean, I feel like I have so much on my plate as it is. Should I just focus 100% on my family and my children and myself?
I think you need to look back at your other ideas, the chef concept idea, and reinvent it from here.
Mhm.
And blend Reiki and cooking together and hybrid the two and find your joy and passion again. Okay? You can easily do a tutorial video of how to put Reiki energy into your chicken salad and your own chicken salad recipe. Okay? 1,000 other ways you can combine Reiki and cooking. And put some videos out there. Have your husband hold the phone and do some cell phone recordings or figure out something the way you can do it. And start building your passion, finding that passion, putting more logs on the fire of your soul.
Okay.
Okay? You've lost nothing and gained
Okay,
a
I
whole
could
new
do
thing
that.
to do. Okay?
Mm-hmm. This is true. Yes. Very well. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks a lot for
I
calling
did
in.
not expect to cry. Thank you. Bye.
I zoomed into you and instantly I saw it behind all of your Fox News advertising. All right, darling. Thanks a lot for calling in. All right, remember, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who's next.
That was awesome. Carolyn Simpson.
Carolyn, are you there?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes. Where are you calling from
Hi.
today?
I'm in South Jersey, near Philadelphia.
South Jersey. Welcome to the show. What did you want to talk about today?
I was interested and a little confused because I just discovered you, Andrew, I think I think around June or July. So I've been listening to you a lot and learning as I go. I'd still consider myself a newbie. I'm interested in learning about programs and suicide programs. I've had something that's been bothering me my entire life, and I really could use some insight on it. I'm really at a loss. My mother, apparently, when she was pregnant with me, intended to kill herself. And it was only just a couple months ago I asked her a little bit more about it.
Robert, we've got somebody out unmuted in the background here.
Oh, it's.
Go ahead.
It's okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I asked my mother to go into a little, I'm 48 years old now, so I have no trouble talking with her about it. Apparently she went on some medication. She had 3 children in a row. She had my first brother, and then she had my other brother, and then she had me within 2.5 years. So she was pregnant with the 3rd child. That's my son Connor. He has autism.
Okay.
Go inside, sweetheart. And she was on a medication. She was told it was supposed to help prevent jaundice in me when I was born. And she said the medication immediately, she was on a very low dose, and she had decided, and she told me that she was cleaning the house and she realized she had to commit suicide, and she also had to murder my brother, who at the time was 1. She had decided in that moment, she said it was very clear, she had to, she cleaned the house, she did her hair, she put on her makeup, and she said she was going to kill my brother, kill herself and me, and leave my 2-year-old brother with my father. And she didn't. She had a moment of clarity, and she called her doctor for help. I've always wondered about that because I've had weird moments too. I was a child. I remember being 2-3 years old, and I would look at the street at the cars coming, and I had this urge, go out into the street in front of the car. And I did. When I was 3, I ran out into the street, and I didn't like try to run across the street. I stopped and turned and waited for the car to hit me. At least that's how I remember it. That poor woman, I must have given her a heart attack. But
that's a ghost also.
Wow, I am not a suicidal person. Like, I love life. Life's hard, but I love my kids. But I feel like this thing has been nagging me my whole life, like this urge to commit suicide. I'm like, I'm not suicidal. Like, what the heck is this?
Those are called suicide demons. And they haunt people with severe flaws in their character, be it from medication or personal issues that they don't take care of. And then they pretend to be the inner dialogue that has all the choices and stuff. Sometimes it's deeply embedded in the parasympathetic. And a murder-suicide demon is what your mother was experiencing. Now, your mother had experienced this for a much longer than just that pregnancy. So she had experienced it every pregnancy. And I would fair to say that she experienced it several more times throughout her life before she was pregnant.
Yes, she told me that when I was a child, and she and my father, before they split up, she said she would take her car out and drive at night and just want to drive into a wall and commit suicide.
That's a suicide demon.
Okay,
all it does is harvest the grief and misery, because it knows full well it's going to make you turn the wheel at the last second and survive.
Did this demon invite his friends to come hop on the
Yes. Yes, they did. That's her friend. That's the way they work.
He's got a lot of friends.
Well, they're not hard. They're pretty easy to take care of once you start following down the sovereign path and doing basic spiritual hygiene, understanding that when you leave open doors, things will walk right through those open doors.
Okay, can you give me some examples of those open doors I don't want to leave open?
Unhealed traumas.
Okay.
Backstabs and betrayals that you put down the river. That's the river in Egypt that becomes denial.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
The need to take vengeance. Dark magic.
Oh, Andrew, I am
pure ignorance.
Yes, my sons are vaccine injured, and I finally, after 8 years, I've put the sword and shield down. I'm like, I don't want to go to Washington, D.C. anymore. I don't want to go to the CDC anymore. I don't want to go up to these politicians that don't care anymore and fight. I'm so tired. I just don't want to do it anymore.
So the suicide demon left you, and the martyr demon took its place.
Yeah, I can see that. Are you sure they're both not like tag teaming me? Like, you know, those wrestlers from the 1970s, those twin wrestlers. Sometimes I feel like they're double teaming me.
Well, there's that some form of wrestling still exists today. That's their hair's a little bit longer and they have different costumes. And the answer is yes. But the suicide demon, when you're not in severe misery, it doesn't want to be around you. It has to feed off a specific type of energy. The martyr demon, it's just waiting for you to burn yourself out and then fill you up with its energy, and then you start using its energy, and it starts taking your energy, but you get less and less of its energy to do more and more work.
Oh boy. Yeah, I so after 8 years, I've got chronic Lyme. I've got adrenal, I'm past adrenal fatigue. I've got adrenal exhaustion.
You have what's called classic entity overpossession.
Oh boy.
Okay? Now here's the recipe for wellness.
Okay.
Flotation tanks, and if you can get into hyperbaric chambers, those are
Oh,
the
I've had them,
choice.
yes. Yeah, I've been in those chambers because my son, both of my sons are vaccine injured. I've been in those chambers for hundreds and hundreds of hours. The flotation tanks, I have to declare bankruptcy this week, so it might take me a little time to be able to get into a flotation tank, but I'll definitely see what I can do. May I?
So there's one other thing that you've got to be understanding. Whenever you're dealing with long-term burnout, intestinal parasites take over your intestinal tract, take away from your dream world, and then they eventually become blood parasites. So it's important for you to do a full-on parasite cleanse.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of one right now, and I do coffee enemas a couple times a week.
That's not enough. That's not enough. You should be switching to colonics, and if you can't afford it, you can learn how to do it at home.
Yeah, I can figure that out. I've seen the instructions on how to do it yourself.
They're called Kalima boards, and you have gallons of water versus pints of water.
Yes, I've seen that. Yes. My son Connor, he has moderate to severe autism. Hey, sweetie. He knows I'm talking about him, don't you, buddy? And I remember you've had other callers, and they ask about their special needs children, and I'm curious. Is anything that happened with me and my mother at all linked to my son? Is he just a kid with a disability, or I want to know if he has something else going on.
There's no such thing as a kid with a disability.
Okay.
He chose to come in that way, even though he may not be able to have normal relationships and communications. He has a very powerful, unseen world in which he does things. And this is how they still get to affect this world, through manifestation of every little burp and sound and fart and noise that they make. Their version of manifestation versus long dissertations and hugs and stuff like we have. Now, his individual challenge is finding out how he can make an impact that crosses both journeys, where the psychic world that he's working in is connecting to the physical world he's working in. And this is why a lot of autistic children have meltdown. They're trying to connect you to their world, and their world can't connect to you, and your world can't connect to them, because you don't have the built-in psychic skills like many autistic children do.
Yeah,
So
he just the other night.
His choice to be autistic was his choice.
Okay.
The method in which he got it was still part of his choice.
Okay. Yeah, he leapt out of his bed a few nights ago and came out screaming monster.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where that came from, because he doesn't watch TV. I've never read him a story where I talk about monsters. I don't know where I guess he could hear it from anywhere. I was wondering what that was about.
You'd be surprised what comes up on YouTube videos nowadays.
Okay. He doesn't have YouTube. We keep the computer away from him.
Whatever he finds pieces of information from. All right.
Okay.
Okay. There's plenty out there for him.
Okay.
Does he make that noise often?
Yes. Yeah, all the time.
What do you think it means?
I have no idea. He makes his hands move. He flaps his hands very quickly, and he likes to look at things that spin. Like right now, he's holding his hands, making like a V with his hands, and he's flapping them back and forth real fast.
He's moving energy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dense energy around you, and he's trying to move energy.
Excuse me.
Your excuse. Your excuse.
I'm cold.
Go inside, honey.
No, stop.
No?
See, he's breaking up the dense energy that's around you.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's cold out.
Okay, let's go inside.
No, stop.
Doesn't want me to go inside.
Because it's easier to break up the dense energy where you're at.
He loves
It's
being outside.
dark
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, it's dark out. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So when you were a martyr, you taught him out of some of your own journeys to clear dense energy because you weren't clearing the dense energy from him. That's not his job to clear dense energy out of you.
No, it's my job to do that.
Yeah. And you got to make sure you don't fall back into being the martyr, because he's going to show that as he grows up, he will be martyring himself against very negative frequencies as he gets older,
Yeah.
thinking he can take care of it all. Because
Yeah.
I watched mom do it my whole growing up.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely applying. I know I'm a newbie. I'm definitely applying a lot. I know I sleep with the bag of salt, silver and sage on my back every night. And I've done the fire ceremonies. I
Mhm.
read
How-
revocation.
How the fire ceremonies helped you.
Well, I read them. I read them all. I believe I read them all twice in front of the fire. Nothing changes. Like, I don't remember my dreams, but when I do wake up, I don't feel like I dreamt about anything stressful.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up feeling pretty relaxed.
You're
So I
just
figure-
you're just really disconnected from your greater journey.
Okay. Sorry about the noise there.
Okay. You got to spend some time connecting to your greater journey.
Yeah, I get up as per your advice. We spoke a few months ago. You said I should
remember.
work on. Okay, yeah, I work
I
on
remember.
forgiveness. Yeah, so I get up about an hour in the morning, and it's quickly become my favorite hour of the day. I work on the guilt meditation and releasing shame. And yeah, it's interesting how you work so hard and you pull a layer off, and there's another one just like it right underneath it. Yeah, you just keep pulling away at those layers.
That's right. Keep on trucking. Don't give up.
That's right. Well, thank you so much, Andrew, for the insight. I'm really, really grateful for all your help, and I'll continue to listen and learn. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in.
Great. You have a good night.
You too. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of colors and see who is next.
All righty. Just saying good night to my own there. Oh, okay. Christopher.
Hold on. Good night, Armisa.
Just missed it. Christopher 3.
Well, hello again.
Hello, the greatest unicorn image person in the world.
Yes, well, I have been trying to find this one image. I found this years ago, and I'm glad I found it again.
Cold out today.
I will never forget that image, and your name is always forever emboldened in my mind as the man who had a cat on a unicorn with a gun. And I went, damn it, his unicorn's better than mine.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Yes, I will go that far. My unicorn dragon ass is nothing compared to that.
Yes, you know, shitting rainbows and burping cupcakes. Unicorns are pretty special.
That's right. So how you doing today?
Oh, I'm great. I got great news about some business stuff that is just off the charts. Been working at a project for so many years. It's like climbing Mount Everest. And finally, I can see the top. We're not there, but I can see it. So,
You can see the peak.
yes. So it's quite good.
Okay, is that what you want to talk about?
Nope, not really. There's something that's been bugging me for about 2 years. And
Okay.
it has to do with forgiveness.
Okay.
And I'm calling because I'm hoping that perhaps you can shed some light on to what happened. And so here's the story. So if you may recall, in the couple of past times that we've spoken, I've been in a lifetime of a lot of holistic rediscovery.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that happened recently, meaning the past few years, sorry, I'm closing the door. I lost a friend of mine in a very peculiar way.
Mm-hmm.
And on a certain level, I found myself blaming to a large degree a person who had become a mentor to me in the holistic space. And so what happened was there was a mentor, teacher, almost surrogate mother figure that I had for about 10 years, 12 years, and a healer, a very, very nice, very powerful, well-known holistic healer. And when in 2018, she told me that a friend of mine who I had known since about 2000 had actually passed away about 2 years before in a very strange scenario where this friend of mine is a woman who years ago I had feelings for a little while, but we became very good friends, had been introduced to and also took classes with this teacher, a friend of mine, and she kind of had a falling out. She started getting, she had a heartbreak. She started doing drugs. She had entities talking to her and started going down a dark path. And one day she said something to her cousin that the teacher, my teacher, mentor, that she had owed my friend money or something. And then as she just proceeded to walk across the street and got hit by a bus and was run over and killed right then and there. Like right as right after she had said that. And there was the Sifu, or the mentor teacher of my teacher, is known for being in the unseen world and keeping tabs on her students. I experienced that myself a couple times. And so I'm wondering, and after that, and the response that I got from my teacher about it, I felt that she made almost light of the entire thing. So after that, I pretty much walked away and virtually ghosted her and just moved on.
So did the teacher arrogantly say, yeah, I saw it coming, or something to that effect?
No, she just, it was more of like a lilting sort of comical comment of, let me just recall exactly what it was. It was the way that after she told me the story with a kind of like a normal sort of almost like, isn't this great that somebody out there is protecting me sort of attitude, and then says like freaky, like in a way, and that wasn't even a good imitation. It was more of like a laughing, like 60s druggy, like freaky, like the whole thing. Like my friend I just find out was hit by a bus, and I just couldn't take it, and so I'm wondering, have I gone too far to disconnect completely from this teacher who was a mentor for more than a decade? Or
what was the style you're learning?
it was a number of things. It was Tai Chi, the Yin Jing Jin form, the Merkaba, other healing modalities. Basically like a lot of different modalities around Qi. I didn't really learn directly so much Qigong meridian therapy or anything like that, but it was first it was the Merkaba and then Tai Chi for years and years and years, and just access to lots of workshops with lots of teachers.
Okay, so it was Tai Chi.
Are you talking? You're cutting out. Your mic is dead. The energies might not want me to hear what you have to say.
Andrew, if you can hear me, we aren't hearing you. All right, let's just hang out for a second, see if he can get back in. I think, yeah, his signal dropped.
Okay, waiting patiently. And this is I guess a very
yeah. Go ahead and continue with what you were sharing, because he'll be able to tune back into that.
Right. Okay. So more of the background. The relationship is very much of a mentorship in the holistic realm, and so it the whole thing, like losing a family member after the break.
All right, I'm back. Hold on,
it was really
My other device is connected. Just 1 second. I know Martina's laughing in the background because of all the technical issues I'm having today. Sorry about that.
It's the
It's
conversation,
not
isn't
even
it?
So it's not here now. Now
Oh.
it's stuck in connecting, reconnecting. Anyways,
That's a signal area. My phone does that.
so all right, now this computer has to charge. Damn it! Come on. I know you can do it, computer. All right, everyone, help me believe in my computer. You can charge, computer. Yes, you can charge. I believe, computer, you can charge. Damn it, I'm not instantly gratified. I should have enough power to finish. I hope.
Okay.
All right. Where were we? Sorry about that.
It's okay. So the types of things taught, it was very much a very close mentorship relationship. I became her assistant for her holistic center. So, I mean, I was really involved and really picked up on a lot of things. Lots of workshops of different modalities, different psychics, doing past life readings, doing healings, regular Tai Chi, really, really intense, powerful Tai Chi. So I'm wondering if who was it that actually, how did that happen?
How did the death happen? Hello?
No, it's his internet. 1 second.
There is a something about this particular gentleman. Hold on, you've got some time travel interactive energy going on with you right now. As soon as my phone went off, I went super active. And what's going on? You actually having something that's trying to stop you from relating to this reality of truth.
Right. Hold on.
I don't often see this. Maybe once or twice a year.
Okay.
You're still breaking up pretty good. Do you want to have a little fun with them?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so now I switched to a different frequency.
All right.
Okay.
Do you want to have a little fun with them?
Sure. Fun with who?
The time travel things that are trying to stop you from remembering something. You actually have time travel energy around you right now where something's trying to port in and out parts of yourself, so you don't have direct access to a memory.
Okay, let's go for it.
So let's finish the story because it's in the story.
Right. So my question is, was it my mentor teacher Sifu that killed my friend because he thought that she was...
No, your mentor Sifu did not kill your friend. Your friend was haunted by an entity that looks for weak people around Sifu's. And no matter what he did to fortify her, she kept undoing it.
Okay, now my teacher's female. My teacher's teacher is male, the Sifu, and my friend was female. So my friend who died was female, and my teacher was female, and my teacher's Sifu was male.
Right. That is the lineage energy working through this living master. It's how they fortify students' dream worlds.
And which
because you're in a lineage-based teaching. Meaning at some point, the enlightened person in their lineage was able to project forward into enough future generations and make direct friendships, relationships with all of them as fetus in the womb situations.
And who is that?
The male figure you just spoke about.
Okay.
Who's the direct lineage that still goes back several hundred more lineages back.
Okay. So it wasn't his fault that
no. But when you hang around a Sifu and a master, equivalent and negative entities that are hunting around the Sifu master will take advantage of those around the master who are not training themselves well.
Okay.
Who are falling victim to their own issues. As soon as she went down the drugs and alcohol is when she had already given up on living her life and gave away parts of herself unknowingly to something else. The energy harvesting system.
And I remember exactly the conversations of how she was, how that was actually unfolding for her with some sort of entity that was whispering to her, telling her things, making her think she was not who she was, a number of things. So
That's the suicide demon that's putting so much seed of doubt and hesitation in you, you never take action, and forever are this blooming flower that they're harvesting energy off of.
are you talking about me particularly, the general scope?
The general scope.
Okay, so how does the time traveling fit into the scenario?
Where were you at that time?
It happened 2 years before I found out. I was living here in the Far Hills area in New Jersey, about an hour from New York.
Okay. And when was the last time you spoke to her from when the point that you heard that she was dead?
About 2 years, probably maybe a month to 3 months before she actually died.
And then after she died, how did you learn right away that she died, or did it
No,
take a
that
while?
was a 2 year period that I had no idea.
Okay, that she was already dead.
Right.
That is the time travel energy. So there is a part of you that was on that original timeline that will have another version of another truth.
I don't understand what you're saying.
There's the majority of you is here now,
right,
in this timeline, but there are fractalized aspects of yourself, micro versions that were created to resolve karma in seen and unseen worlds that are other timelines. We don't just live on this one timeline. There's this simultaneously existing us.
Yes, of course, I get it. Yeah.
Okay, so this particular woman, what do you know about her? What was her educational background?
My friend or my mentor?
Your friend that died.
She was Polish. She was model, and she went to school. She became a designer, fashion designer, vegan, and she was kind of like a New York socialite, you might say.
Okay.
Dating the upper echelon.
Right. So she had reached that level of her spiritual completeness, which is great. Now, do you understand the ancestral karma of that repeating in New York City?
I could see how that could happen often in New York City, yes.
That becomes a trap where entities will assemble around locations, and just like internet funnel marketing, guides you to the right demonic force for the best price. Okay? So there's a whole network of them in the sacred geometry cities.
Right.
So she got caught up in one.
Yep.
She passed. There's an alternate version of you now who was much closer to this person and could say may have dated for a short period of time, but the separation that the two of you experienced was because of this running into this dark energies, and it would have swallowed and tried to consume part of you too. And there's a part of you that's homeless in New York City right now, but 9/11 didn't happen until 2008, and the 2008 mortgage scandal didn't happen until 2016. So change the frequencies of time, and the whole time we would have been on Iraq, Iran, and still had troops in Kuwait. Sorry, not Iran, Iraq and Syria and that whole area. And the other thing is, Obama wouldn't have been elected first term. He would have only been elected one time.
Huh.
Right. And we would be running Biden versus Trump, as Biden being existing president, Trump the challenger. This is that alternate timeline where you're a homeless person in New York City.
You mean I'm a homeless person, homeless in New York City?
Literally, in this exact moment of now, there's you and a fractalized aspect of you who is on another existing timeline who is a homeless person in New York City, yes.
And is that person the one that dated her for a short time and then
Correct. Correct. And then got attacked by that system, but learned how to survive by becoming homeless. Even though the homeless area is a place where ghosts and demons hang out, the thing is you've become a bounty hunter in the unseen ghostly world over there.
Yeah, that would make sense. I could see that.
Okay.
That'd be an interesting
So
choice.
you've gone down the dark path a bit. Now that version of you who's homeless is quite aware of what he does on a psychic skill level. And he keeps himself fed, etc., etc. His homelessness is how he hides where he sleeps. He enters the true predator network that's a part of the city, and it's like a giant teacher for him. So he can hone unnatural reptilian senses within himself, and then have a dual layer of understanding a normal human and the reptilian sensed area.
That's pretty fascinating.
Okay, so this is like a unique psychic talent. That being needs to be extricated from that reality and put on another timeline where he isn't hunted.
Where are you saying the other version of me needs to be moved to a different timeline?
So this version of you is going to talk to that version of the person that's the homeless guy.
Right.
And you're going to convince them you can move them to another timeline where they're not hunted.
Okay.
And that they can apply their skills in a different way. So this is part of the fucking with them that are time traveling against you right now. Because
Right.
once you disengage the soul shard, it'll naturally come back to it once it's finished healing itself.
Mhm.
And some of these skill sets might actually become natural to you because you are assisting a part of the letting go of the karma.
Right. So what are these time travel energies that are trying to interfere right now? Why are they trying to interfere with this right now? Why don't they want this to come out?
Because the time agent version of you, this is like getting into a bigger understanding of who you are, what you are, and what's going on in reality around you.
Okay, that's impressive.
You are a gigantic soul in a little tiny body, and they're waiting for the stretch marks to appear on the clothing. Okay. They're constantly bondoing your light body because you bang into a lot of things.
In a problematic way for
Yes, in a very problematic way. This living you being now as the frequency that you are.
problematic too.
But there are other versions of you who don't give a rat's ass and don't live in reality the way we do. They become, let's just say, technomancers.
Okay, so describe that, please.
The ability to control technology as if it were simplistic control systems.
Well, that's how I operate pretty much.
You fully integrated with technology, but there's not a VR interface. It's a complete psychic hologram interface.
Yeah.
You own the technology. It can never own you.
Right. I mean, I go near a computer that's malfunctioning and it just starts working.
Right. You are Jesus of computers. Be healed, computer.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm joking around.
Yeah. One time my cell phone was dead and I just rotated around my crown chakra and then it was charged enough to call.
Yes. All right. So this is the getting to the part we're going to fuck with him.
Okay.
So the part of you that was working in, we'll say, around 6200 BC, and you were a time cop at that particular point. So you were part of the, I'm enforcing the rules of time here. And that's just something you would have been doing as karmic relations to balance out both sides.
Right.
So that version of you gained a lot of extra abilities by doing this extra work. And another time travel organization came in and that's basically Nancy Kerrigan'd you.
Nancy.
You know, that's the girl that came out and whacked Nancy Kerrigan, the ice skater, in the knee.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
To me?
Tanya Harding, yes. So somebody would have metaphorically whacked you in the knee and took you out of the game early, and you would have never had a career.
Oh, and
Okay.
that happened? Okay.
And that happened. And that shard, that is the homeless being in New York City, is the last link to that time travel agent.
So by bringing that home, I somehow also
taking it out of being hunted. It's specific. You're going to transfer it as a hologram to somewhere else where it's not hunted.
Into another timeline altogether?
Correct. And I can teach you how to do it in the simple words.
Okay, I'm game.
Okay. So I just want you to, actually, we can allow everyone to kind of help out here. So I want you to just verbalize looking at a New York City park. And I will tell you when you've reached an idea that it can connect to.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you want me to describe the park?
Just describe a park, yes.
Okay, so there's it's the Battery Park City Park. It's near the very bottom where you can look across and see the Statue of Liberty. And there's a flower garden in the back, which has kind of like a figure 8 almost in terms of the path, but it's all cement and bricks and gardens. And then there's a sort of a sightseeing structure.
Okay. Go over to the sightseeing structure. How many homeless people do you see in your mind?
Oh, I see actually quite a few.
Okay. Use your intuition to see if you find that being.
Yes, there he is.
Walk over to him.
Okay. And I'm sitting down next to him on the square seating perimeter of the square lawn.
Okay. Is he saying anything?
No.
Okay. What I want you to say to him is, I am the temporary time cop of the moment.
I am the temporary time cop of the moment.
I am the I am now being of another timeline.
I am the I am being of another timeline.
Entangled as an observer.
Entangled as an observer.
For I am a part of you as a fractal aspect.
For I am a part of you as a fractal aspect.
And under the laws and rules of oneness,
under the laws and rules of oneness,
I share my common concepts of oneness with you.
I share my common concepts of oneness.
All the infinite fractalities.
All of the infinite fractalities.
That has been, will be, or is.
That has been, will be, and is.
Is in our DNA.
Is in our DNA.
Do you see me, brother?
Do you see me, brother?
What's he doing?
He's beginning to see me.
Okay.
And I think opening up in a way, seeing more color.
All right. I want you to use your aura and increase its value in light. Like you are raising it 5,000 or 10,000 lumens.
Right.
Just your aura. Just let your aura get really bright.
Right.
And what I'm doing is I'm holding him in place so he can't stand up or sit down. He's in the infinite set of hesitation. Now, what can you say to him from his fractal of oneness, how to re-experience not being hunted anymore?
My friend and other self, fractalized being of the now in your timeline, you can move within your heart and become something that is not desired to be hunted, and to become and to be not only undesirable of being hunted, but to hunt and to move beyond hunting whatsoever, from the hunt, the hunter, and the hunted. There are more things to do in creation, and they're all there waiting for you. You just have to choose.
Okay. He's starting to absorb all this energy now. He's now can't actually hear the majority of your words. Just a second here. I'm clearing out some of this excess energy here. I want you to silently project to him how you operate technology. And just send it as an upload encoded in light. And he has a equivalent of 1,000 meg download per pipe. Do you feel him sending a code back to you, how he controls technology?
Yes.
All right. Just try to use your voice to compare and contrast the difference between his way and your way.
Hmm.
A lot of people are observing this energy. And I gave this little rebellious challenge to you because you are already an advanced enough soul that the entire audience is observing right now. And we have a lot of very unique people make some really unique comments. A homeless guy is having a talk with himself right now. It's on a park bench somewhere in New York City. What are the chances of that happening right now? Within the rules of potential?
Within the multiversal, unlimited potential
Yeah.
of reality. Why
Yeah.
not?
Why not?
Who else to count on other than yourself? So
in this journey to broadcasting your version and their version, his version, what can you begin to compare and contrast the difference between the two?
I'm not sure if I can describe even what the feeling or the perception is. It's a little bit outside of my perception to be able to describe verbally. I felt as soon as I was giving out through the top of my crown to higher source and down into his crown, my download I got from his underneath, kind of coming up and then going down and then coming up into me from underneath, and it created like a circle of light energy.
All right, that's because as a homeless person, he deeply connects to the land and can temporarily exit the hunted stage. He can phase out of reality.
Right. Yeah.
Okay? But still allows him to also have conscious control of all the technological things that he's connected to, even when he's in that deepened state.
What type of things is he connected to in terms of their technology?
Think of him having access to thousands of windows, tablets, tabs, whatever you want to call it.
Oh,
each with its own CPU and its own processing power.
So is this process a part of an energetic retooling of what I know to bring a hidden capacity into this timeline for the sake of what I may or may not do in this timeline with technologies en masse?
So he created a psychic network of observers that created a code as the network, which was the greater teaching.
Right.
Of how he connected into technology and kept it encoded and unencoded, entangled and unentangled at the same time. This is something that actually fractures the rules of even quantum theory.
Well, quantum theory is theory.
Right. But this shatters even what the upper ETs think. When something is both an entangled and an unentangled observer at the same time in multiple simultaneous existence, meaning the worst type of time travel of negativity is happening around that person, something that's leading to a total paradox, which will blink you out of the existence of your soul family and put you into the land of the forgotten.
Say that again.
You would basically get kicked out of this holographic universe and have to go to a non-time, non-memory hologram.
Because of what we're doing right now?
No, if you were to lose this soul shard.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a badass to happen. And by getting it back into you, you'll have those skills integrated into you the more you advance.
Right. Well, that sounds like a good plan.
Yes. Yeah, no pressure, caller. Sorry.
Yeah, I've had other pressures. This is just adding to one more layer.
Exactly.
So that's great.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to say to his energy? You've pretty much got it encapsulated in your light right now, and this is how easy it is to recalibrate fractal aspects of yourself.
Amazing.
Uh,
I want you to know that I thank you for the journey that you've made, and for all the things that you've learned and shared, and that you're loved and welcome always to come back to the one.
okay. He says, I've got a little bit money stored up. I'm gonna go get a hotel room and some dinner.
And that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. He's asking if you like Chinese.
I'll have Chinese.
Okay.
Not my
Well,
favorite, but I'll have.
He's waiting for you at another time.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to do that.
How does that feel?
It feels. It's nice. It's nice.
There you go. You got the big balloon above the clouds. There you go.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I had my eyes closed. So is this fractal breaking scenario? Is it that there's a Lyran aspect to my spiritual lineage? Like, I can live like the cat.
No, it had to be when. So there are times the oversoul takes on the role of working with the system of domination and control to maintain this, not the status quo, but the journey of getting more and more souls into the galactic ascension machine.
Right.
And so we work with them.
Right.
And one of the times you were working with them, something came in and did major time travel eraser damage to you. And this was the one shard that was left from that era of history when you got taken out early. And that reintegrating this thing has been something your soul has been waiting for a long time. It's like having a gaping wound for 6,000 years.
That's kind of how the past 2 years have felt since the trauma of making a very rude exit from the life of my friend and mentor from the whole thing.
You switch timelines. And that's why there's a part of you on another timeline. You had to be on the right and awakening timeline, which is this one right now.
Well, glad to be here.
Here's your t-shirt.
Also, you get a screen printer and what are those, like t-shirt screens? What are they called? And, print up some new logos.
Yes, there you go.
Or logos.
Yes, logos. Exactly. Logos. Exactly. That's the better way.
The logos.
Yes.
I'm making some logos for logos. Would you like some logos?
Get your logos here. We got your logos here.
It's like that game on computers called Logo. That you draw your geometry.
Yeah. Draw your geometry. I know that.
Hi. Well, that was certainly more than I was expecting.
You caught me at a good time.
Yeah, you definitely look like you're in a good mood and good spirits and good health. So I'm happy with that.
Thanks a lot for calling in.
Thank you again. Thank you.
All right, Robot. Is Monty there?
Yes, I am. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I've actually, in the last couple of days, I've come out of the closet, and you have to refer to me as President-elect Monty Dean.
All right. May I welcome President-elect Monty Dean.
And if you've been on Twitter, a third of Twitter now have their handles as President-elect blah blah blah. So that's how humanity's dealing with crisis. Best way is pointing and laughing.
Well, what are you laughing at today?
In a positive way, I'm giggling at all, the last 20 minutes of time travel stuff, because my feeling was of like, it's been done. But that's, being a lazy time lord, it's like, what, time travel? I'll have to slow down and vibrate at this level. And yeah, I'm a watcher. Guess what I do?
You watch.
Yeah.
So how good are you at watching, Lazy Time Lord?
Well, I stopped looking at my paper, if that's what I just the image of, like, the doctor in the TARDIS is like time travel and just looks over the paper. Oh, yeah, he's doing that well, and I'm going to go back to the horoscopes.
Back to the horoscopes.
Oh yeah. not astrology. I think you'd call it news.
Horoscopes, same thing. So what does your inner outer conspiracy sixth sense tell you?
About what? I mean, we're all you want to scale it down, it's like, yes, I have that, but am I supposed to focus on a topic or
whatever you want? Improv. Ha!
You mean make it up as you go along? That's so reality.
That's so Vogue.
Yeah, I know.
Let's generate our own conspiracy today.
Cows are our overlord, and they're very upset with McDonald's.
Yes, because McDonald's put out McPlant Burger.
We're supposed to be eating, damn it.
They literally put out McPlant. Yes.
Yeah.
Look it up. They actually put it out. The McPlant.
I watched the interview with that you did a couple of days ago. I went for an hour with that lovely lady.
Yes.
That was fascinating. Don't read the comments underneath it. It's like, wow, people are they're expressing themselves freely. But the actual hour is quite fascinating, especially if people have been watching Andrew for a while. Even when you say newbie, which is like a month or more, it's like, yeah, that's basically what he says. And I'm finding my perspective now is looking at the global narratives and not hardcore into we're a farm, but the idea of an energy farm, and I can see why they're skipping season 3. And that's why there's so much chaos going on.
That's right. Because season 3's alternate timeline, and they're just trying to figure out how to bridge us till they create the new timeline.
Well, that came up on Planet Collingwood because, the first hour was like, what we know so far. And then we got to the point of if we go with the idea that now this is in the what if section, everyone calm down. Trump stays president, how they're going to let the general public know that. Because in that framework, they can't say, oh, he won, because everyone will just explode. So they may do it slowly over a week. But yeah, we finally get to a point now because, see, like at the end of season 2, you couldn't really game out things, project and see pattern recognition and all that type. I work in the conspiracy world, and we have to play the what if game a lot, and we really couldn't do that up until the election. And so now we're having that transition of season 3 wasn't rating that well, so we'll just put that in another timeline and come back to season 4, and there's all these new characters with a backstory. And I like how you said, there's going to be a 1-minute flashback of season 3, and then they'll plow into the new narrative, and everyone's going to be stuck on wait, go back, I have to watch that recap about 8 times to get all the information. And it's like I don't know, is the global narrative is not really in trouble, but they're making a choice, or they're trying to do that patchwork, if that makes sense, where they're skipping season 3, and you
well, see, you experience season 3 on another timeline, and then all of a sudden that other timeline becomes season 4.
Yeah.
But from our perspective, we don't get to see season 3.
Well, that's what I mean. I think that's sort of the out of placeness, and they're using the energy or whatever it is, and it's bad editing where I'm holding a cup, and then the next shot the cup's on a shelf, or you know what I mean. There's too many things of like, wait a minute, and I think that there's an element of humor in it. It's like who's editing this? Like this is terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you noticed, like, terrorism's turned up, COVID's moved forward, and I guess by sharing the idea of this skipping season 3, it helps the mind, the 3D mind, go, all right, that's why everything's fucked, because it's like I'm missing a lot of stuff here. How do we get from A to D? What about B, C, and E, or B and C? Well, you don't have to worry about that.
So I'm sorry. I was just looking at that other video's comments, and you were right. I had looked at it in a while. They're quite funky.
Yeah, they're expressive, and if for those dear listeners, viewers, if you go read them, just observe, don't judge, and remember it's free will, and they're having experience. This is my get out of jail free card of not judging people,
because unfortunately, I did shoot her down a lot of stuff. There is no 21st. Nothing's happening. What part of do I have to describe? Nothing is happening in 4 years.
Well, I do have I just thought of a question for you, which is kind of relevant. It is now, if we take out the personalities of Biden and Trump and just go like A is the president and B is the challenger, what are we seeing? Is this a false narrative, or is this an attack on the respectability of voting? And yes, I know they've been fiddling with it for a while. However, it just looks like that the whole concept of voting has lost integrity and everything else like that. And so people are saying that's the fight.
Our voting lost integrity hundreds of years ago.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to help you for new listeners, not like the high-end Andrewites.
I get it. I get it.
We know voting sucks. Yes, well, we understand that.
We must maintain the truth about how long we've been in a corrupt system and haven't been able to uncorrupt it enough to get it back to normal.
Well, that is true.
It is rigged against us. It's absolutely rigged against us at all levels.
I can see two realities, two what's the word I'm looking for? Outcomes is that B wins and everything's corrupt and people are awoken to they see that it is corrupt, or A wins and certain people go, well, it's corrupt, but we stop that. But I can still see the event. Not the event, this event, showing a little bit more corruption in the system.
Huh.
Now, obviously, I'm not asking you what's the response for humanity, because I know a couple of humans and they're special. But I just because with everything where the media's exposed itself, if we go the path of A winning and the rule of law is actually followed, everyone that's praising Cockett, Mr. Magoo, just look like complete idiots where, there's no evidence. And you know what I mean? Like in that timeline where it's the media is totally exposed because they've just outed themselves so much.
The media is not totally exposed. It has plenty more to expose in itself. It's not the media itself is not even at New York City flasher state yet. It's just a little bit of dress here or there, or maybe an underwear showing. It's definitely not overexposed.
That is true. Yeah, but there's hints. Like we can see a bit of ankle. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so it's like Britney Spears when they sexified her. Okay,
yeah, very early. Yeah,
right.
But you know what I'm trying to put forward, where it's like
they haven't had a Britney Spears in chair moment yet. Okay, for people that get the reference,
yeah,
there's a few old timers out there going, huh? And they don't get it.
And if you do remember it, there's a reason why you remember. It's like, did she just wait a minute? Go back. Go back.
What did she do with this chair? Okay.
Anyway, we're distracting ourselves now.
I'm just saying, CNN hasn't had a Britney Spears in chair moment yet.
No.
And we have to get to that stage for people to truly lose faith and confidence in any form of media.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
like jumping the
starting
shark, we need a Britney Spears chair moment on CNN.
It is a bit of a starting point, though. I've been watching a lot of Steven Crowder, mainly because it's comedy, and you know what I think about. I rather watch the world's destroying itself. Yeah, but can we see a comedian talk about it? I don't want this serious crap.
Exactly. I want a comedian to tell me about it.
Exactly. It's much. Remember when Jon Stewart, when there was actually comedy on the Daily Show, and all the late night comedians just didn't say Orange Man bad for 4 years. But he's been popping it off. Like, he was actually getting online. He was getting more viewers than NBC and all this other stuff. And of course, the legacy media is freaking out because they're losing viewers, and so there's that element. And I saw today that the Speaker of the House is saying the Republicans are delusional. They won't face reality, and I'm like, this is coming from you.
But they're both saying that about they're both saying that about each other, though. And they've
yeah,
been saying that for years. That both of them are like, well, you're totally codependent on each other, guys. Stop trying to not prove it.
I know. That's what I find amusing. It's like
there's a very incestuous relationship between yourselves.
Oh yeah, because they have to have an enemy. It's a form of duality where one doesn't. But yeah, Nancy Pelosi's saying, you're out of touch with reality. Like, really? Have you looked in a mirror?
So if we wanted to give Nancy Pelosi like a boss-rated game name, the Nancy Pelosi Congressional Woman Spirit.
Yeah, what's her Batman villain name?
Hot Air.
It's the hot air lady.
It's the hot air lady.
Stutter mouth. Oh, like
stutter mouth. There you go. Yep.
So it's just it's weird, and the way that I actually labeled my latest Planet Collingwood, my roundtable election. U.S. election day 8. It's still going.
Yes. There will be day 58 too.
Yeah. Well, so can you see this schmozzle, old word? It's 100 years old. It basically means cluster. Anyway, can you see this going past the December 8th, December 14th, when they have to certify the electoral votes?
Yes. But it's what courts are seeing at the next level. So
Robert,
there you go. I'm not hot air lady.
Robert, the fastest memer in the West.
Exactly.
Or in the Americas.
Ninja memer.
I don't know where my ricochet bullet sound is.
And you don't hear that often, ladies. So is this the global narrative? Like, because I know you said as above, so below. Is this chaos or chicanery happening in Algartha with all their factions going off?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Think of it like
there's an element of chaos.
No. We got to put it to something that humans will understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to make the reference to the Italian mafia, like in Godfather 1, 2, 3. So if one family is going after another family, the other 3 families can tell them to stop, and they can get an interceder and an interactor. So there's a whole bunch of mafia gang families who've had something, their honor besmirched somehow, that are puffing their chests saying they're going to whack off a bunch of stuff. Some things are getting whacked off, other things aren't. But power is exchanging hands.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what it basically says, even in the mainstream.
The haggle. The haggle is on.
Yeah, because they don't want to lose the farm or lose control of the farm. This is why I don't see the New World Order actually getting in, because if they want to condense, they want to lose 7 billion people. It's like, do you know how much energy 7 billion people actually feeds off? It's like, if a junkie comes up and is like, I need some heroin, we'll just give you a 7th of what you had last week. I'm sorry, they won't say it this way, but I'll clean it up. I'm sorry, what?
Exactly. Sorry, what? Junkie say what? Junkie say what?
Go back. I have to stab you in the neck because? Is that what you said?
Yes.
But I think also, like in the global narrative, I could see they'll sacrifice the whole new world order and still keep a form of control and still feed off the farm.
Well, because there will people that will never get off the nipple of the narrative.
No, that's what I mean. Where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, like this is all true, and so these people are saviors, and so we'll follow them, and yeah. Now, also, if anyone thinks it's a bit of doom and gloom, it kind of is. But if you look at it from a comedic lens, it's like in the long game, it's like, oh, that's just an interesting chapter.
So,
if you do, how Andrew says, you do your self mastery and everything else, like you get out of that video game and you find your own sovereignty and you have your birthright and legacy, which is a fascinating idea. It's like my birthright and legacy, it's the same thing. And that's how it's an inside job, and that's how you win. And I like how we add element of comedy. It's a coping mechanism, and I'm saying cope in the actual term because that was, you know, how you have hopium. Yep. These idiots that's, you know, CNN said Joe Biden's the president, and so all these people who hate Trump have gone, now you have to cope, you know what, you know, that false thing. And yeah, have a bit of copium, and that only lasted 3 days because they grounded that idea into the dirt, and no one's using it. We will, because hopium and copium, that balances it out, and then watch some fear porn.
So that's a whole different way to ride your reality.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do a whole bunch of hopium. I'm gonna go out and do a whole bunch of and end it with that.
Yeah, gonna have some hopium, watch some fear porn, get really dark, and then have some copium, and I should balance out in about a week.
Yeah. Or you're gonna do hardcore. You're gonna go right into the fear porn, right into coping with the fear porn, and then ended it off.
Yeah. And then come to us as like, hey man, you got some of that comedy, man.
You got some of that comedy? Yes.
So yeah, it's I agree with Alex Jones, the 79 days of hell. I also believe that hell comes in many colors. It's
79 colors.
Yeah, 79 it's Baskin Robbins of hell.
Yeah, exactly.
How would you like your eternity, sir? Ooh, the fiery pits. I'll try that taste. No, that's not a good one. Everything's Hello Kitty. I'll try that flavor. Yeah. You're familiar with the great Irish comedian Dave Allen?
Yes, I am familiar with him.
Yes. If this resonates with anyone, check him out. He's brilliant. It's just fantastic. He did a nice routine, and I'll do it very quickly. Hell isn't all fire and brimstone. It's just really thick mud, and you all stand on rocks and you're balancing, and it's up to your chin, and you can't move. And the only thing you hear at hell is don't make waves, because it's all, you know, sewage and fecal matter, and you're just trying to keep your head above the level. And then Satan goes water skiing on Sundays. So, and I think, and you probably correct me because you do that. Hell was created in the 12th century, and because of the power of, you know, humans being co-creators, there is now a physical hell somewhere in the kaleidoscope of reality, because we believe it is.
No, a certain percentage of the farm believes it is.
Yeah. That's a better way of saying. Yes. And also, you know, we're a free range farm, and by doing comedy as well, like that caller with her son breaking up the energy, you can taint the loosh. This is one of my concepts that, you know, one of my taglines from my show, Planet Collingwood, tainting loosh since 2015. So like, oh, you're going to take some energy. Here's some comedy and happiness in it, you twat.
Exactly. This is like having the super spicy Indian food. It's going to burn going in and going out.
Yeah. And also with this 7.5 billion humans on there, it's like, well, just leave that guy alone. So, yeah.
Yeah, if we could all simultaneously change our loosh during the next harvesting system, there you go.
Oh, strawberry. Oh.
No, it'd be like wine into vinegar.
Yeah. This tastes different.
Yep. Wine into vinegar.
Yeah.
Vinegar loosh. There you go. Then they're gonna pickle us in it.
And I do like in the interview. Yeah, we do win. That's good to know, but we're not allowed to know how we get from here to way over there where we win.
So we cannot use here nor there in winning as a concept, because here nor there is how we win when we get out as a unique concept.
Oh yeah, I was thinking like with our nothing will happen. It's slowly kick the can down, and there's people on the internet saying I'm awakened. We're entering 5D, and like, well, you've awoken that you're asleep. Until you get handed a 6D bus pass, you're not entering 5D at all. So, like, do you have a bus pass? Shut up.
So we have talked about the 6D bus pass in quite a few shows, and I think we have imprinted it to the reality that's I predict there will be a future caller that is gonna have the dream of what the fuck do I do with a 6D bus pass?
Yep. Yep, and it's all based on one joke. Like, yeah,
exactly.
First thing that happens is when you enter 5D, you're handed a 6D bus pass, and you spend an eon going, "What the fuck is this? Why does 6D have public transport?" And it's a joke. That's how you get out of it. It's just a joke, a really good one,
until somebody gets a 6D bus pass in a dream, where the realities don't work like that.
Yeah, I know. But they'll be Andrew will be me and you just going, "Welcome to 5D. Here's your 6D bus pass."
Yeah, there you go.
You want a T-shirt?
You get to go to the 7D waiting room. Okay, and then the 8th degree Admiral's Lounge because they're sorry they fucked your ticket up.
Yeah, and the magazines in the 7D waiting room.
And then somebody comes in and kicks you out. And you were just a homeless bum from New York. Why didn't I recognize you?
No judging. Nothing.
Exactly.
Oh, that Joyce has got a good question. When can we watch season 3 of 2020? I think wait till you get out of this reality and go watch it in the rerun. That's probably the best thing to do.
Well, there's a way to tune into it. It's just the volume of data that you've got to pre-process before you can process what you want to process. It's just huge. It's just huge in the observational journey.
Yeah. It's like watching season 3 of Lost, where there's 20 episodes, but you've gone from 2 to 4.
So I'll break it down. I'll break it down into episodes. So we're skipping season 3 and going right to season 4, but season 3 ends at the end of the year. At the end of the year, or no? What is it? No, they would have January, so there would have been 4 episodes left. Because broadcast TV takes the holidays off and comes back in February, sweeps week.
Yeah, sweeps.
So you would have had the last 4 episodes, or the last 3 or 4 episodes, and then the cliffhanger. Mm-hmm. So, which would have been all the way up into November, right? Basically, right about now.
Yeah.
And then Hollywood takes off for the winter. Yeah.
Yeah. Will there be a Christmas special?
So it's technically the majority of you see the majority of season 3 as 2021. So season 3 is 2021. But season 2 ends on the what has happened. Just the bubble has popped with no answer, and then plush, here you go, season 4.
Yeah. You do a recap, and then like 12 months later, we're entering January, and it could be either one where know President Biden or President Trump.
Right. Basically, you don't get to see the beginning. Exactly.
Yeah. After an intense year that we won't refer to ever again. Like, wait, hang on, I'm missing. It's like watching Star Wars, where you skip episode 8 because it's shit.
Yes, exactly. Skip it because it's shit. And you can guess what's going to happen in it.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh.
All right. So
let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Episode 1, season 3.
Yeah. That would be the inauguration, wouldn't it?
So, no, it would be in February. End of February. So Sweeps weeks begins the week before Valentine's Day, so the 7th, and goes until second week in March.
So that's like the 100 days, the first 100 days of the presidency.
Right. So season 3, episode 1, there is still no actual existing winner from a certified experience. And Nancy Pelosi had originally taken it, but stepped down. And there's now a co-Democrat and Republican as a temporary president because of all the court cases that are coming against Trump, who's technically not under his Presidential Powers Act or whatever the Presidential Powers.
Yeah, he's not protected by the presidency.
Yeah, presidency anymore because his stuff expires January 20th.
Yep.
So that is a complete suspension, and then there's a temporary government under the rules of the civic restructuring rules.
Yeah, just remembered. Do you know that Joe Biden has created the office of the president-elect?
Okay, there's some reason for that, and it probably has to do with some more of the dark ritual stuff.
Yeah, I know.
As the new president
that's
has
the
to
first
take
time
over,
that's the first time in history there's a office.
Right. It probably has something to do with ritual and ceremony.
Yeah,
that's being bypassed from the other side because Trump's not a Mason.
Well, Pelosi said sometime this year that even if Trump doesn't leave the White House, like there's going to be two sort of running at the same time, where the Democrats, well, this is our reality and he's our president, and there's going to be the Trump supporters are like, no, he's our president.
Well,
and I'm wondering
and that reality is what I'm saying. It's like that, but everything's at the courts.
Yeah.
To uphold executive and legislative branches, the Congress and the Senate created a tribunal president, meaning there's a Democrat and Republican who are both the presidents at the same time, but are splitting presidential issues.
Yeah, so basically, everyone, especially after Chris 3, which someone mentioned in the chat, you've gone from Chris 3 to Chris 1 because he's bringing all his soul shards in. I like that one. We're going to see a manifestation of timeline in this timeline. You're going to have that sort of split thing going on.
The answer is it's like screen and screen. Now, that was trying to say that was season 3, episode 1. Okay, season 3, episode 2 is how do I describe this? It still continues no president, but some special law was passed that one had to be done, so another election would be immediately done because only Congress can do another election.
Okay, yep.
And episode 3 is the next election that is just as rigged. Okay.
We've been on this roundabout before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Episode 4 is trials and tribulations. Trials spelled both ways and tribulations. Okay. Who will be hunted down and who won't? Who will survive the political bloodbath? Just like when Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton took over in politics, political blood, people started dying.
Yeah. People are noticing that Kevin Spacey's pulling a Clinton because all his witnesses seem to accidentally die.
Exactly.
It's like, is he a friend of the Clintons? Oh, I've actually heard a comedian say, I don't care who you are in history and reality. There's no one else in history where 56 friends, work colleagues, or acquaintances all died. It's not statistically possible. Right. Hillary, don't go near Hillary.
Exactly that narrow span of time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in less than a decade, 56 people, 2 people, Bill and Hillary, or Hillbilly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's strange how House of Cards is turning into a documentary.
When I was watching House of Cards live when it was actually on TV, I'm like, oh my God, are they showing this? Holy shit, this is going to be like proof and pudding. I got to episode 4 as they're hunting down who made the mistakes.
Yeah.
Episode 5, Congress is abolished and a whole new Congress is elected at the state level.
Now, is this the illusion of the systems cleaning itself out?
No, there are checks and balances in the Constitution that guarantee the continuity of government.
Yeah,
And even if all of the rules are, because everything was an impasse, both sides were fighting each other so much that it inevitably came down to that choice, where you have to dissolve the Congress and have the states reelect through state legislature.
Yeah, because I do remember, and I agree with you. What's written on paper in the laws, like the system doesn't work. Well, it kind of does. It doesn't work for us, but the system, they actually, if we take the corruption out of the system, it's a good starting point. Like the system would be fantastic for humanity, but there's masses. It's 98% corruption.
Okay. So that was season 4, or was that season 4?
That was episode 5 of season 3. I was waiting for you to finish
episode 5.
Yes.
Now, episode 6 is what happens to the rest of the world doing episode 1 through 5.
Oh yeah, the ripples. Yeah,
the ripple from all 3 of those episodes. Decimation in the stock market. Banks are revealed to be nothing more than massive money laundering machines that are taking advantage of their people, and it's blatantly obvious. Okay, there's been a fall at 2 of the media networks. CNN has had major disasters internally with its own editor system, and then Fox News has fallen apart, and both have had internal editorial battles where one day they say this and one day they say that, one day they say this, to the point where there's massive audience walking away.
Alan in chat just summed it up perfectly. It's the wedgie effect.
Yes, the wedgie effect. Okay. Okay. So now the rest of the world, there is a hope for you Europeaners as you begin to see the writing on the wall and want to change the European Union, some of the European Union rules and laws. And you start passing some very positive laws while America is going down the dumb shit level. And you guys lead by example that sets up a situation where the similar rules are picked up in India and some of the other nation states that are experiencing the complete loss of their news agencies too, because they're all experiencing the same thing as they watch America completely unravel itself.
Yeah, in a way, America is being used as an example, because if America is the shining light of humanity on the planet Earth, and you see like Europeans of like, well, we've been here longer, and then they see the US starting to sink in, disappear into the hole. The Europeans are going, you know what? We'll change some ideas, yeah? Let's not be them. Let's do better. Yeah.
Okay, so season 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. COVID is still hanging around and hasn't gone anywhere.
Episode
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The COVID-19 is still there in that time, because somebody was asking, what is this frame? So this would be from February to second week in June.
Yeah, so roughly, let's say 12, 13 episodes for the year.
We'll just call it 10.
Yeah. Because at the end, I'll say it now because I've got each. Basically, whatever, Andrew, we've been talking about for 10 minutes. We'll probably go for another 10 minutes. All this is going to happen in another timeline, and we're going to go to season 4 at the start of 21.
Exactly.
So all this stuff is.
You're going to miss all this.
You'll skip all this and have no idea what's going. Like, wait, what?
Yes. Exactly. It's just like season 3 didn't exist, and here's your recap to begin season 4.
Yeah, it's like Highlander 2.
So people are asking vaccine. There have been vaccines that released, but they have been horribly backfired because of improprieties in the productions of it. And that there are batches that are being given to the super wealthy that are top notch, and grade C and B batches that are given away to the poor that make people sick.
Yeah, that's because it's cheaper, and vaccines it's not medical thing. It's not about health.
No, the mafia gets into it.
Oh yeah, there's money.
The dark money gets into it. Yeah. Simple as that, because it becomes a street drug. Hey, imagine like Mexican mafia and biker gangs. It's like arming a armored car for them.
Yeah, because apparently you can live on heroin. Obviously, you don't do much with your life, but if it's pure, the body can handle it. It's when it's cut with Omo, washing powder and
that other shit. Yeah.
well, that's what kills you. I'm not recommending going out and do heroin, anyone. Just like,
Right. It's because it's
So-
very addictive. Because it's very addictive.
Yeah. So episode 5 in the Northern Hemisphere, you're in summer.
Summer. That's the rest of the view. So
Yeah.
episode 5 is you get the rest of the view of how the world's been affected, the stock market. Okay. Episode 6 is the Great Tsunami. Okay, that's where there's a tsunami in the Holland region. So the British regions, there's an actual earthquake and a tsunami. The Holland's dikes are able to withhold. Great wonders of technology, big cheering. There is extensive damage, and about 12,000 people die from that. That's not a lot of people, but it's still a significant event in news history.
And
Okay.
is that totally natural? If we can,
No, 100% created because they had been losing control from episode 1 through 5.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Okay, they had to take the audience back. Remember, this is what we're not supposed to see. Okay?
Oh, yes, yeah.
They have a earthquake tsunami incident. So then we move on to that was episode 6. Episode 7 will take us into the September solstice. This is where we have multiple not meteorites,
Asteroids.
comets in the sky.
All right. Yep.
Like 10 to 12 comets that astrology had been telling us was going to be coming.
So the information's allowed to be known to the to the surface level. Okay, yeah.
And people start looking up at those and seeing that kind of stuff in the sky, which sets off a wave of UFO sightings that the conflicted news industries have to choose if they're putting out or not. So there are a lot of local news stations that cover the UFO phenomenon that happened above everyone that day.
Yeah, because
Okay? But it's
most of
greatly
humanity doesn't. Yeah, most
Right,
of
but-
humanity doesn't look up. So yeah.
Right. So most of those are suppressed at a high level, though.
Mhm,
Okay,
yeah.
that's episode 8. Episode 9 is we got a new president. They finally
I know.
elect a new Congress and a president, which
Just
would
took
be
10 months, but
roughly
yeah.
October 2021.
October surprise 2021.
Yes, 2021.
We're finished.
We finished. Okay. And now that was episode 8, right?
Yeah.
Now episode 9 is the trials and tribunals against all those that caught doing election fraud on both sides.
Yeah, the
and
fallout.
the complete nuclear fallout on the swamp, because essentially the only way to deal with the swamp was to nuke it.
Yeah. And that would leave us episode 10, which is December 2021, which is the end of the season. And will they lead it up to a cliffhanger and to set us up for 2022?
There you go.
Now, everyone, after that, how long?
Which is season 4.
Yeah, with season 4. At 20 minutes, I'm glad it recorded because you may want to go back to it. They've decided to scrap all that and just move up season 4.
And just move you up to season 4.
Yeah. Now, does everything that happened in season 3 happen, if that makes sense? Or
yes,
so
season 3 is happening.
Yeah.
Well, technically we're still finishing season 2. Okay,
Yeah,
we have because season 2's episode would be the 3rd week of November, which is like next week.
Yeah.
So you get one more episode, and then you have to wait till February before the next year before you get new episodes.
Yeah, because if all that experience of season 3 is missing, how are they going to explain that? As a silly example, December is just sort of quiet time, and then January, Nancy Pelosi has a mohawk. You know what I mean?
Nancy Pelosi takes over and then steps down amidst charges to the top Democrat and Republicans.
So they're going to condense all that season into a month in a way, because this is where a lot of trickery and fakery is going to happen, because they're taking a year and condensed it into 5-6 weeks, and obviously we have to experience it without knowing that that's season 3. Is that correct?
Right. Yep, that's a good way to put it.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Okay. I mean, there's lots of ways to see this, but what he just said is the best way you can begin to visualize it.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot more coming in our last episode. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's good writing to have like the. I mean, that's why the cliffhanger or the letdown of the election. It's like, well, that was the end of episode 8, and now episode 9 is the fallout from the letdown, and then we have the final episode of the season, which hopefully something's resolved, or will they have a weak cliffhanger, or will it be Tony from The Sopranos just driving off into the sunset, and then we have to wait a week or two, and then season 4, and like, wait, who are these people? Why is the theme tune changed? What's going on?
Okay, so
exactly, scoff chops.
So I will relate when they did the Phantom Menace, where they had too many characters and Jar Jar Binks. They've got to get rid of our Jar Jar Binks.
And who is our Jar Jar Binks?
And I have a feeling that Jar Jar Binks is CNN.
Actually, yeah, and I like Jar Jar. I like to point out he's actually useful for the plot in the Star Wars saga.
Yes.
CNN, not so much.
Not so much. So CNN is the Jar Jar Binks that got to be taken out of the story for it to have much more semblance and characters to have more exploration of who they are.
Yeah, I'm with Sean. Darth Jar Jar would have been an excellent story part of anyway. Unfortunately, that's a different timeline, and once I'll be able to travel between timelines, I'm going to that reality where Jar Jar turns out to be the Sith Lord behind Palpatine. Mm-hmm. That would be awesome. But unfortunately, I'm stuck here. I mean, I'm glad that I'm experiencing this moment of reality.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So in this last episode, do you remember the Game of Thrones ending?
What, that terrible season that sucked? Yeah.
Yes, that's what we're getting.
Like the end of House of Cards, the Rise of Skywalker. There's a theme here, isn't there?
Yes, there's a theme here.
It's like, everyone's been enjoying it, investing and putting energy into this story. So we're going to make it really shit at the end. So there's more loose produced because they're all angry. I'm so glad I didn't buy any of the Blu-rays of Game of Thrones. I thought, no, I'll wait till the end and then buy the box set. And then I saw season 8 and I'm like, fuck this.
So that's what we're going to get in our last episode. Another big letdown. And thus why they want you to skip season 3, because they failed at marketing it to you.
That's going to be fun. Where
loose production was way too down, and they said, "Fuck it, we're skipping seasons."
So how in the so season 4, the presidency has been resolved. So will that happen next year? Like if we're skipping. Because I know we went through it in season 3.
Well, they got to make season 4 has got to stick as a sell point.
Yeah, because, well, to start the season, you would actually want, A or B, or dare I say C. Someone is the president, and it gives the false hope of stability of, we have a leader now, and we've worked through it all, so let's plow on. Which is going to be hard to sell because it's like, wait, hang on. Why is Mitch McConnell the president? What's going on here?
Exactly.
Why is Turtle Man? And there's nothing wrong with that. Why is Turtle Man? He looks like a turtle.
It's actually all new faces that are the government. It's all new faces. There's no one left from the old actor crowd. Good actor, back to actor crowd. They all got replaced by state level congressmen and senators to the state.
Oh, yeah. And that's a good setup for us, the Bartzis Dean 2024 ticket.
There you go.
Yeah.
You'll be my internet vice president.
Yeah, exactly. Well, president-elect. Vice president.
Vice president-elect, exactly.
Vice president-elect Dean. I want
to add to that last episode faux pas. Mm-hmm. When you end a series so badly, you leave such a foul taste in people's mouths.
Yes.
And if you're gonna, let's say you've already got the budget for season 4, but you've already screwed it up pretty bad, you have to capture them with the snuck off the set scenes and the season 1 trailer.
Spoilers, yeah.
Spoilers and the things that they give out to the internet rumor mills.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because This is is this just for the United States, or is it the global narrative? It needs to have that attention to continue on, and because the writers' room sucks.
Yes, the global narrative needs its attention to move on. Your attention.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, if they're going to lose the audience, because I like the TV show analogy. Are they going to lose the audience, which is going to upset the
they've
narrative?
already had a collapse in audience, and all the negative comments coming out about how bad the last 2 episodes were.
Right. So it's also like, the latest Doctor Who. Then it's like, this is fantastic. Are you watching the same thing as me? So this is why I'm starting to look at the global narrative energy farm by stepping back, and I think even step back further, and from not a comedic point of view, but a comedic thinking way, because the whole thing's a joke, and we basically agreed to this, which is kind of funny as well. And they need to, we're going to see the narrative falter just ever. I'm not sure if they'll come back, but they're losing.
It's got to resell itself. Yeah. And it has to figure out how to do it and get us hooked on the trailers before 2020 ends and 2021 begins.
Yeah, which is 6 weeks away.
Yep. Okay, it's got that long to advertise. And I know if people have probably had this experience when you're binge watching, and like, let's say you have Prime or something, and the next season you got to pay for.
Oh yeah.
And then you come back a few months later, and then it's on Prime, and you're like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna skip to the next season." I know you can conceptualize, because you can figure out from the nature of the actors in the season.
How does the New World Order narrative fit into this? Because if they're, because I don't really see the rise of Hitler. Because too many people.
Hold on a second. I mean? The person that's spamming over and over and over again, please stop. You're not going to get what you want. Okay.
Yeah, it's that free will, and it's Andrew's show.
Exactly. We're already on overtime.
Yeah. Like, for the New World Order to kick in, they need a massive disaster, which, especially now with the information overload, there's a thing of like, well, fuck this, and the believability's gone. So I don't see that happening. And if you try and do sort of away with Hitler, you have to go behind, just go total super Nazi-esque. That's going to not happen either, because how are you going to completely cover the world instantaneously with like everyone in camps? People may notice and they'll fight back. You know what I mean? I don't see, because there is a question from the chat in between everything else. Will they chip us? And I'm sure they'll try and do it, because like now this adds to this. Is that part of the Great Reset, which is that part of season 4 they're trying to bring in January? Because they've said that the Great Reset will happen in the early 2021.
Who said this?
The Economic World Forum.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
So, with the idea that nothing is happening for 4 years, the new Congress and the new Senate looks like it's passing bills that help everything, but in actuality, it only helps the economy, and it continues to only help the economy and not the individual people. Okay, and then the drug companies come back to the government with their hands out, and government can't pay for
it. Yeah.
Okay, the government can't pay for it because the government just spent all this Fed helicopter money into saving all the corporations, which starts the next level of the corruption revealing itself.
Yeah,
which is just another helter-skelter moment live on TV, and then the next show begins, and the next show, and the next show, and the next show, and the next show, and the next show. And it's as if it didn't have a helter-skelter moment.
Yeah, because they keep certain factions keep pushing these ideas, and they don't get traction. Because I think on a soul level, humanity's gone, no, like a cashless society. No, I'd rather, there's an element of freedom handing. If I want to buy something off Andrew, like, oh, I've got an old car I could sell. Here's $300 in paper. Now, we know that it's a debt receipt, blah, blah, blah. But the government's not involved, which upsets them because there's no taxes. But there's a freedom, especially like my parents' age group, the boomers. They've got this weird thing about freedom. And it's like, well, it's my money and I'll do with it what I want. And so if I've got currency in my hand, I can spend it anywhere I want. And if you live in Australia and if you do everything legal, you're still paying tax on everything.
Yeah.
'Cause you've got
But
the GST.
that older mentality was still because they lived at a time where gold still backed something.
Oh yeah. I don't want to go too deep, but
Yeah.
the point is, like, going to a cashless society. If you've seen the voting shenanigans, is anyone going to believe anything digital 100%?
No.
Yeah.
No. And this is why they have to redo season 3 or skip right to season 4. They fucked it up so bad. You've left too many holes in your storyline, and you're going to sell a whole new character group. No one from the old stories survived. And you're going to still same director, all new actors.
Now, in the massive
this guy's replacing this guy. This guy is replacing this guy, trying to save it.
Yeah. So basically, in the large narrative of humanity and the galactic ascension machine completes its cycle finally, is it a good thing that the narrative's freaking out because it's going to they're losing control over the masses?
So this is where media itself goes through massive reform. Where right now you've already had Glenn Greenwald leave The Guardian, and there's going to be a bunch of others who leave a bunch of the other ones, and they're going to put their own independent investigative studio together, and it'll be crowdfunded for them.
Okay. Yeah.
Crowdfunding justice.
So there's an element of positivity out of, like, there's out of the situation. There's a positive outcome.
There have been many. There's many positive outcomes that are waiting to happen, but the corruption has to be cleared a certain amount first.
Yeah. So they'll dial. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out in the period, like, there's still an element of corruption because the farmers need to have control over the farm, obviously. But there's an element where, like, if you're stuck in the sandbox, you don't know who owns the sandbox, and if you're allowed to live your life and live freely, and you don't know that there's a bigger structure, you could have a petri dish going on. The thing is, there's too many observers of the petri dish poking things. They're getting into it. No, do that, and so yeah, good times to be alive. And there's a positive aspect, and just by not engaging with the global narrative, like, this is terrible. And I like the prime creators, like, well, this is going to happen in the global narrative, so I'll manifest this into the movies and TV shows you've been watching 5 years beforehand, so you can see the correlation of, like, this is just like Game of Thrones season 8. This is horrible. Yeah, thank you, Kimberly. Who writes this crap?
Exactly, bad writers, worn out old writers.
I like the
they all got bad gambling debts and are alcoholics.
Why doesn't God intervene? Because God knows what it's doing. It's like, no, free will. Keep fucking it up, you morons. Free will.
Exactly. Free will, exactly.
Fan fiction writers sometimes have better ideas. It's when bad fanfic writers become the writers and their ego kicks in and they fuck up the story royally. Say, like Chris Chibnall in Doctor Who. All right, I that's one of my issues I need to work through.
So somebody was asking, did they come back with chipping? Chipping is never really going to be a thing. It's never really going to be a thing in the greater expression. It's more threats and warning to keep you in a state of fear than it is an actuality of it coming out.
Yeah, that comes.
Corporations are too greedy to invest in putting a chip into your ass.
Yeah, and it's that for me. This is where you go back to the step back of, it's an energy field. Instead of chipping someone and having control, you get more energy from people by threatening to chip people and control it. If you think, instead of being docile, like, I'm fine, I feel happy today. If there's this whole chipping, it's like, we may chip you. Oh, fucking, and the energy just comes up and is released. So for me, this is how I'm dealing with the global narrative. It's all about getting that emotional response. They actually feed off positive emotions too, don't they? Or
yes,
is it just
they do.
really negative?
Yes, they do. Okay. Well, no, it's the lizards that feel off of the negative loosh and the things that it's distilled into.
Okay.
So do lizards feed on positive energy? Generally not.
No, but
other things can use it but it's not in a feeding scenario where it's because we can share experiences. And loosh is not all a negative experience.
Well,
Loosh
yeah,
is something that we can create and gift to others.
yeah. When the media announced Biden winning or projected to win the election, I noticed they used the right language at the start. He's projected to win, and then they dropped the word projected. A lot of people thought that World War II was ended again, and there was all this celebration and the amount of energy coming out there, freedom and hope, the world feels better, and it's like all that energy going up. Obviously, the lizards can't use it, and this is where I'm getting the.
But when World War II ended, they were ending multiple other timelines. That's why there were multiple celebrations throughout the experience.
Yes, but the celebrations, like some people think it was exactly like the end of World War II. It's like because Trump lost an election. Like, really? Are you people idiots? Anyway, but they had all this energy and freedom. The thing is, like, if Trump becomes president, can you imagine those people that thought that Hitler died again, where Hitler comes back from the grave, zombie Hitler. Hello, I'm president, you bastards. Yeah. Their energy expression, like someone's going to feed on that, motherfuckers.
Absolutely, that's going to be heavily fed on. Yeah. Now, the Trump monster, it's like somebody supporting their team. There's only 6 seconds left in the game, and they're down 40 points, and they still think they can win. Okay. It's the same over-believing energy. But the same thing is being done for Biden, too.
Mm-hmm.
So in the next 50 days, will we know who is president? No.
So we find out president next year.
Yes.
Right.
So there's 3 certification: state certification, and then congressional certification and Senate conversion. So each one has to give it certified all the way up to the Senate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I think will be needed because of the information that's being pumped out on both sides. Like I said, I watch Stephen Crowder. You don't have to. I do. So I watch it for you. They're just trying to find out who won. Legally, they've said, it doesn't really change. If Biden gets in, they'll still do the same. If Trump gets in, they still do the same. It's from their perspective, it's more about the system and if it's been compromised. It's that because they're not a massive Trump fan. You know what I mean? But then you've got the mainstream media. It's like, no, Biden, Trump's lying. There's no evidence apart from thousands of people bringing, I'll stop there because I'm opening up my own rabbit hole of information. And it's a massive distraction of like, I think it needs to go to the Supreme Court / Senate, like the highest levels. So everyone goes, well, I don't agree with it, but all right. You know what I mean? There's got to be an end point instead of just like Nancy Pelosi going, that guy, I like him.
Exactly. I like that guy.
Yeah. So, look at the cut of his jib.
Exactly. Look at the cut of his jib.
So, yeah, if it goes through the process and you finally got a group of people where it's like you can't argue with the outcome, then finally, which will be next year, hopefully, before the 20th of January, hopefully. Especially if they're skipping season 3, because you got to start season 4.
Right. So along this lines of TV shows, I'm going to use a TV series reference. Who here has seen the TV series Sons of Anarchy?
I haven't seen that yet.
Highly recommend it. Yes, that's the bikers one.
Good, yeah, Soa. A lot of Peg Bundy's in it, and Henry Rollins and Marilyn.
Yeah. Henry Rollins plays a straight up a white supremacist. Cool way that he chose to play that character and did it. Yeah.
I just finished watching Batman Beyond, where he voiced Mad Stan.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Anyway,
anyways, Mitch, there's a bunch of high powered actors that are brought into this to make it work. When it came out, it from 2008 to 2014, it broke all the records for a TV series coming out. Most watched against sports, most watched everything.
Yeah, because it kind of followed Breaking Bad in a way, didn't it? Because Breaking Bad came out and then Anarchy came out just afterward, and I could see it probably riding the wave, if that makes sense.
Well, if you remember, season 1 of Breaking Bad started really slow, and season 1 of Sons of Anarchy, because one came out one was a spring and one was an autumn release. So there's
Okay,
only,
all right.
yeah, that's really what it
I
was.
can't remember July this year, so I don't know
Right.
why I brought up something 10 years ago.
Sons of Anarchy did better ratings than even the other ones. It did better ratings than everything. Yeah.
So
it actually broke all the records.
So is that what they're hoping season 4 will be? They'll try and emulate the success of Sons of Anarchy.
Well, I got to break down some of the show.
Okay.
So in the TV series Sons of Anarchy, there is a motorcycle gang called a 1%er, meaning they're true outlaws, they're criminals, they have prostitutes and drugs, they deal high-end weapons to gangsters. So there's really a lot of bad stuff that this motorcycle crew does.
So the Rothschild. Okay, keep going. Yeah.
But they have characters for each one, so you learn to like each one because they have good qualities and bad qualities.
Yep.
And there's very much this racist energy that's going on, and drug energy and gangster energy going on with these characters who are trying to do their best for their club and protect their brothers while all this crazy stuff is going on.
Yep.
Now there are corrupt cots, corrupt feds, everything. So this group pays off a whole bunch of people to get a big mission done. And when season 1 finally ends, it sets you up perfectly for season 2, because his child, one of the main characters' child, is kidnapped and taken to Ireland between season 2 and season 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Stop giving spoilers, because now I want to watch that, because
it's great. It's 7 seasons too. It's outstanding. Yeah.
I'll add it to the list, because when you said, oh, you should watch Justified 5 seasons later. Okay, I finished watching that. I'm going to watch Deadwood now. The Good Place. I've heard of that, but I haven't.
No, I haven't seen it. No.
I'm waiting for Warrior to. I think they've got about three or 4 episodes to go of Warrior season 2.
Yeah, I know. I just binge watched the first 5 episodes.
Yeah. Good, bad, indifferent. Like from the season 1, do they make it better, or is it the same, or do they get worse from season 1?
In which episode? Which series?
Warrior.
Oh, they're all really good. They're all really good, and they're setting you up for something that's going to be one hell of a season ending. Yeah.
All right, cool. Say no more, please. And that's from a Monty Python sketch, but I mean it too.
I say no more, and I simply agree with what Sean in the chat room says. Warrior is phenomenal.
Yes.
Yes, it is phenomenal.
Because my little stint of just being a special guest for a 5-minute talk, been going for an hour.
Holy shit, I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, we should do a show, Andrew. To wrap it up in a way, so what will we see in the missing or the jumping of season 3 till the end, in the next 2 months, basically?
Yes. Hell in a handbasket really fast, and then at the same time they're trying to advertise season 4 to us.
Yeah. And also it is Friday here in Australia, Friday 13th in 2020. Which idiot thought of that? So yeah, okay. Why
don't you give people a way for to get a hold of you?
I was just going to ask a very question. It's Way for Thin Entertainment on YouTube. What is the best thing for people to, and don't give the stock answer, how to observe to get through to the start of season 4? What's the best thing? Obviously drink well and eat. Any sort of
non-cliched answer.
Yeah.
You need to be adventuresome with your food. If you're not a spicy person, learn to eat spice. If you're not a person that likes fish, try the damn fish.
Is that breaking the routine a little bit?
It's what you put in your body, which is any energy that's coming at you or you're bringing into your body.
Okay.
Will highly define your reality.
Okay. Well, yeah. In the chaos, don't be predictable. Is that another way of saying it?
No, that which feeds the essence of you. Make sure you take upon the fruits of many of to feed that essence of you. Do
Okay,
not
yeah.
stick to one mono thing.
Yeah. I meant in your diet. I don't mean don't be unpredictable in everything part of your life, because that's going to end badly. So yeah, thank you, Robert. Yeah, Wait for Thin Entertainment on YouTube, at Real Monty Dean on Twitter, and I'm President-elect Monty Dean on Twitter, but yeah, at Real. On Instagram, Monty.Dean, and on Facebook, Monty Dean. I'm being memeing up a storm, mainly because I was slightly angry about the corruption of the election, and then 2 days later, when they announced Biden's won, it's like my comedic side kicked in. Is all right. I'm going to be a shit stirrer. I want Biden in because he gives me more comic material.
Yes, Orange Man Bad killed a lot of comedians' careers.
Yeah, because like it's been the same joke for 4 years.
That's right. That's
So
right.
there you go. That's how I can be found. At the moment, I am 461 subscribers on YouTube. So if 600 friends can sub, I get over 1,000, and I'll start getting monetization.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And we will be back with Monty, and me will be having a comedy show, not this coming Friday, but next Friday, because we just had 3 Friday shows in a row: pre-election prediction, pre-election examination, and post-election examination. So we will be back in this coming Tuesday for another show, and then Thursday next week, and not this Friday, but next Friday, we will be having our Friday comedy show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone, take it easy. Take us away, Robert.
Each different bubble of reality is true. A galactic historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma. Nudge, nudge. It's the Holy Grail. Improvise. Mysterious. It's counter psychic intelligence.
Why is DNA farming of this star cluster so important?
Because we do manifest our reality. We do create our reality.